Seven's football telecast is proudly brought to you by RAA Insurance, Mitre 10, Repco, Sip and Save, Ultratune, and Quest.
To make a name for yourself like you never made before. If he kicks this goal, Hawthorn are in the grand final. Here is the magician at work. He should kick it. Up he comes. Kicks on. You've got to show me all the guts and all the determination you've got in your body. You've got to inspire me. Don't hope, move. At least you can come up and say, I did this, or I played on. At least I did something.
It's been a hot day in Adelaide. It's a bit of a dirty night, to be honest. It's a football park here, Adelaide and Melbourne. We've had a fair bit of rain, a bit of storm and plenty of wind. You can see the flags there in the background. Hello and welcome. It's the Crows and the Demons, Adelaide versus Melbourne. They both lost last weekend. They need a win to get their season going. Adelaide by 52 points over Sydney. The Swans in Sydney, and Melbourne against Richmond at the MCG, and the Tigers were pretty ordinary today. Jared Healy was up in Sydney last weekend. Welcome, Jared. This is a tough match to call, isn't it?
No doubt, Bruce. The weather conditions are terrible and a very important toss to win because there is a change expected. Currently, the wind blowing from the north. It's expected to come around in the next couple of hours to the south. So whoever wins the toss may get three-quarters with the wind. I got all that information from South Australia's best fisherman, Neil Curley.
Well, if Ganguly's out there tossing, watch out, that's for sure. What about last week? You were in Sydney. I mean, the Crows were in front. I'm not sure whether they were in control, but they did fade out in that second and third quarter.
Well, look, they just lost all drive from the midfield and they couldn't capitalise up forward. I thought the Swans had the game in their control for most of the afternoon. And I think for the Crows to prevail here tonight, they're really going to have to get the best out of McLeod and Rashudo at both right throughout the match, either behind the ball or in the middle, rather than interchanging them from the full forward zone, where Scott Welsh can do the same job. 3
changes tonight for the Crows. They've brought in Bode, ex-Port Adelaide, Biglands for Marsh, and the important one, I think, is Hart, number 34.
Well, he gives them some confidence, although we have been told that he is going to start on the bench, but, you know, an All-Australian, multiple All-Australian player coming in, but they need some, you know, really big performance out of the middle. They dominated with Matthew Clark last week against the Swans out of the middle, and that's where it's going to start tonight.
Demons started Schwartz back last week, went forward and kicked 4. The conditions tonight, does that have any impact on where Schwartz and Neitz play, do you think?
No, I think the reason they did that last week, the Demons, was because they're up against the tall Richmond forward line and they were struggling, so both Schwartz and Neitz had their runs down there. The biggest problem for the Demons is that they've lost Brad Green. He's a late omission. Luke Williams comes into the side. So when you consider out of last year's pretty dominant side, they've lost Brad Green and, of course, Jeff Farmer not playing today. They'll be looking for a couple of small players at ground level, in particular in these weather conditions, to come up and kick them some goals.
A couple of the matchups, Rashudo, you've talked about his importance. And what about Leoncelli's importance to the Demons?
Well, I think that Leoncelli may well pick up Rashudo. It's a case in point, I think. If Rashudo dominates and gets best on ground, then the Crows will more cases than not get across the line, and I think Leoncelli's got the experience and the talent to cut a Rashudo out and still get the drive. And I think for the for the Crows. Tyson Edwards, well, he's a very fine player in his own right. Good against Sydney last week, but Shane Woden is struggling a little bit. And if you're Gary Ayres, you'd want to continue to make him really struggle for possessions by placing someone fairly and squarely on him.
I'll ask you for your tip halfway through the last quarter. It's one of those nights, I reckon. We're in good company tonight, as always. Graham Corns and the King, Neil Curley. Jared, we'll take a break. We'll be back with the opening bounce after this.
Because you can take out RAA insurance over the phone, you can spend more time doing the things you should be doing, like practicing your driving skills.
This isn't a team, it's a cat fight.
I feel he was being a bit smug.
I definitely thought someone put a kick me sign on my back. He's so far off himself.
Someone has to go.
The nastiest team ever.
Oh dear.
Monday on The Weakest Link.
Shop with a mechanic shop and be a part of the action at Repco.
Bosch Ignition Parts, Australia's biggest range. Spark plugs 4-pack $8.95, 6-pack $13.25. Bendix, Australia's best known name in brakes, huge range of premium pads from $54.95. Munro, premium GT gas shockers, optimum performance from $79 a pair. Repco, premium 6-litre motor oil, $12.50, save $1 on all Valvoline oil filters.
At Repco, we know what it is, we know where it goes.
At Mitre 10, our Easter prices have come crashing down. With a halogen light with motion sensor only $35 or a Bosch line trimmer just $59.95.
Aye, we were off for a wee break with the wains and the collar was like a cow. And would you know about Kennett? Clunk, clunk, clunk. I'm stood there right glaikit with the wains shouting, "Oh, Farah, you ken you're nothing but a big dunderhead." So I skedaddled right into Ultratune and told the laddie about the clunk, clunk, clunk. He says, "Oh, your shock absorbers are out the windy, man," and made a rare job of them. Understood me perfectly, he did.
I've been laughed at and ridiculed my entire life.
A woman who's lost control.
She killed her lover.
But is it murder? Anne Hesh in Seven's all-new Alley, Monday.
Rain continues to fall heavily here at Football Park. Really blustery conditions. Rashudo's won the toss, by the way, and the Crows are kicking to the right of screen. Welcome to Graham Corns. Graham, as always, you've been pretty forthright during the week, and you've talked about the lack of passion from the Crows' point of view and the fact that the Adelaide players are cheating their coach, their club and their fans and themselves as if this is important to them. Did you get any reaction to that?
Yeah, well, it was last week, Bruce, and effectively that's what they're doing. I mean, they don't think they're doing it because every player thinks they're trying hard, but there's not the intensity around the ball. There's not the willingness to crash packs. There's not the willingness to lay it all on the line, which you see young emerging teams doing. And if they could just find that commodity in their game, teams do not beat them at Football Park.
Neil Curley's down on the boundary line. Curls, was the toss important? Rashudo's kicking to the right of screen for the Crows.
The wind's moved around a bit in the last 10 minutes. It's swinging around to, say, the right of screen, which is going to the scoreboard pocket. I think you boys have to strain your eyes tonight because you're going to have, I'd say, 80% of the play on the outer wing. Jeff White, I think, is the danger for the Crows tonight. I just see his ground ruck work and ground play far too good for any of the Crows ruckmen, and I think he could well be the dominant player.
Thanks, Curls. Neitz and as we have a look at Rashudo with Walsh, Neitz and Schwartz both starting in the goal square, forward goal square.
And nobody at centre-half forward. They've left a big hole there, horseshoe formation. They'll be expecting just long kicks down into that goal square and start.
So Woden the first kick after Clark and White both Mr. Bickley search for it. Smart's quick kick away, out wide. Didn't get far, back to White, covering a bit of ground early. Leoncelli trying to get through. Just a little miss there in the middle by the Demons from Nathan Brown, and the Crows able to get it to half forward. Walsh, he's got some time here. He's at half back, chips out wide, and it finds McDonald.
And
so
Bruce,
McDonald at centre wing.
Well, Woden had the first kick, and he's been picked up by Shirley.
And now out of play at half forward for the Crows. Gee, these conditions are tough.
Interesting that Robert Shirley is picking Woden up. As you've noticed, the young fella hasn't had a lot of experience doing this. It's a big task, but they obviously want to worry Woden out of his game. Surprising Mark Prosciutto starting at half forward when all the pre-match discussion was about getting Adelaide's strongest midfield on the ground.
I think there might be a blood rule here, Cornsey. Sorry to interrupt. So I'm not sure who it is, actually.
Round the other pocket there.
So McDonald coming off under the blood rule. Now the Demons, no one ready to come on. They've got caught short here, but out comes Stephen Phoebe.
Caught short a few times in Adelaide, Bruce.
From the Crows' point of view, Rhett Biglands, who did a lot of work at training, leading to balls coming in, is playing at full forward. And it looks like Scott Welsh alongside him.
I have the Melbourne bench, boys. Stephen Pitt, Stephen Phoebe, and Luke Williams, and Darryl Jolly, yeah.
Thanks, Curls. Good handball on the up by Woden. Terrific tackle from Stengline. Just worried out of it there was Shirley. He's got the job, as Cornsey said, running with Woden. And it's going to be a high tackle and a free kick.
And Brent Gergic is at centre-half back on Matthew Robran, and it looks like he's instructed just to, every time Melbourne get the ball, just charge down into that forward line.
Yeah, now, I think you find Matthew Robran's playing that floating half-forward role, Jared, which it'll be interesting to watch this quarter unfold to see if Matty Robran does play at centre-half forward, or Ian Perry, who is there now with Neitz on him. I think you find Robran will float up and down, which has been a topic of much discussion with Crow supporters over recent weeks.
So let's see how that all works out. Gee, Shears has run a long way. Wobbly kick into half forward. Perry, can he keep his feet? Nicholson with him. Handball effective. Prosciutto. Good bursting play here. Crow's their fastest player at the club. Good kick. That's a very promising start. It was a hard mark for Welsh on a night like tonight, but it was there for him. Collins got it to Gergic, and Gergic wide to Nathan Brown. Brown at half-back, brought down, doesn't get it far, only to Edwards. Back in board to Goodwin. Goodwin tries to measure it to centre half forward. It's sort of floating away, back to Walsh, who's got some space. Takes the bounce. That's a bit tricky tonight as well. To Woden, to White. White between half-back and centre wing. The kick is to Robertson. Second go. Clark hard at him. Robertson, White. Oh, throw, was it?
It's an interesting matchup, Robertson and Bickley.
Georgie, the body language of the Crows in the first couple of minutes looks quite impressive.
They are determined to win a game of footy.
Clark's kick to half forward. Robran outnumbered. Nicholson just the hand on it. Pushing forward. And now Perry right to the goal square. A little give was a good one. And McLeod's going to kick a goal. Oh, no, he's not. He misses. Bigland's give was good. And McLeod's missed a pretty easy one from about 15 metres out.
It was a great attack on the ball from Ed Biglands, and that's all they want from him. Someone who'll hit the ball hard, quick hands. Was it a handball or was it a throw? And Andrew McLeod tried to bend the ball, but you see it didn't hit the foot properly, and he wasn't accurate. He doesn't miss many of those.
When you were coaching them, Grant, they called that the Crow hand pass, didn't they?
No, they actually made full contact. It was just so quick the Victorian eyes couldn't see it.
Terrific to see that Ingerson's playing his 150th. Started here. You would have coached him, Cornsey, in those early days. Ward's handball to Brown. Brown back to White. White through the centre, so he's been prominent early. The kick wide to half forward. Robertson about 50 metres out. Left foot kick in towards the goal square. In fact, away from the goal square. Missing the lot. And just bouncing in, I think, for a boundary throw-in.
Bruce, a point there for Melbourne supporters. Number 32, Cameron Bruce. He likes to be on his toes tonight because Andrew Crow really loves to pour down through that midfield.
Pretty low percentage shot at goal, that one from Robertson. Short should have been top of the square, or the short kick to Neitz.
Short's trying one out of the air, and it's called play on. Got a fair bit of it, did Smart. Ball out the back. Uze's handball. Stengline. Was he taken high? Probably good umpiring in the end. Shear away. Up to centre wing, Robran and Gergic. Just couldn't hold the mark, Robran. Second go. He's in good form, Robran. He was one of the Crows' best in that losing team. It's going to be hard. McLeod lost his footing there for the moment. Walsh was good, only as far as White. Prosciutto, he's so strong he's able to hold himself up. The little give okay. Adams, who had a quiet one last week. Last time he played, he kicked 4, and he finds Welsh.
Well, it's a natural in this position. It was I guess a surprise for most in Sydney that saw the game between the Swans and the Crows that he didn't start up there in this role, because effectively Rashudo and McLeod are only going to mimic what he does, and you could argue that he does it better.
And boys, the rain has stopped.
He is an instinctive forward. They're very hard to find.
We got 47 goals last year, which was a pretty good return.
He's missed.
How strong's that breeze, Curls? We've seen a couple miss.
Yes, and it's blowing into that corner, you know, where the ball's gone on both occasions. So there is a bit of breeze there.
Interesting, that ball came forward from Chris Laddams, who appears to be tagging Leon Celli, or certainly picking Leon Celli up, who was so damaging for Melbourne last week out of the centre square.
Nigel Smart has pushed up from the half-back line to add an extra player into their zone defence.
Perry, he's just on his wrong side here as a left footer, squeezed up a bit, and he blazes and misses. So the Crows have had a few chances. Robertson one chance at the other end, but the Crows have had 4 chances now and still no goals.
Yeah, good signs. They're going into or slightly into the breeze. Just need some conversion for your effort, though.
Walsh is going to switch it here. They go away. Uze. He's had a couple of terrific years for the Demons. It's a good kick and an equally good mark by Leon Celli. That's a great grab.
It's not the side that Melbourne need to be attacking through, though.
Down the line towards Phoebe and came off the interchange. Cameron Bruce back to Phoebe. Phoebe to half forward. Schwartz will try and monster McDonald here. McDonald, whose handballing early I thought was pretty good in Sydney the other day. Over the ball, and it'll be a ball up.
It's that situation where the Demons they lack a Jeff Farmer, even a Brad Green. Neach gets the ball to ground, and they just haven't got that same calibre or quality of the ground level goal kickers.
So about 35 metres out. McGregor. Edwards to Goodwin. Just on the left. Good kick. Found Clark. A lot of discussion about Clark's role at the club. The kick to centre wing and just how well he's going. Rashudo off for Odron. Stenglein. Kick to half forward. Ward and McLeod. McLeod falls over. Not the first time he's done that tonight.
He may well be wearing rubbers, Bruce.
Looks like it, Curls, as Ward finds the line.
It's interesting, though, Jared, everyone's been talking about Adelaide's midfield and how Rashudo and McLeod should be part of it. Both have started in the forward line for Adelaide. Adelaide haven't looked bad, though.
Well,
they've been able to convert.
They've obviously made the decision just to go with the negative players on Melbourne's gun midfielders and push all their quality players up into the forward half.
Clark did well. Edwards look away handball to Bickley. Bickley's kick's got some depth, and Inglison's read it really well. He's done a great job, Inglison, with his career. 150th match, as we said tonight.
Well, if you'd have spoken to most of the Adelaide coaching staff and match committee back in 93, 94, they wouldn't have predicted he'd play 150 games. He's done a magnificent job to get there.
Handball by Brown, and boundary throw, not far from where we're sitting high in the stands here.
Fellas, interchange for the Adelaide Crows. Skipworth, Bode, Hart, Gallagher.
Ben Hart, Curls. What do you see of that one?
Well, he's a good player.
What's he doing there?
It's the coach's decision.
Phoebe kicks to half forward and well read by Crowd. He's a promising player, isn't he?
Yes.
Not such a good kick. White's got it. Rigoni changes direction, then gets himself into trouble, and not a very good kick. Sheer front spot.
Good punch from Leon Celli.
It was, and Phoebe's handball to Leon Celli put him under the hammer a bit. High one there, and free kick to McGregor. So McGregor and Crowell, who started as forwards, got him. He's got him. Started as forwards. Crowell, McGregor making a fist of it in the back line. Rashudo, the kick to centre half forward. Bigland's the lead. With him Ingerson, and now Welsh and Collins. Collins did very well. The tackle by Biglands has been lively early, okay. Walsh got it back to Collins after Ingerson got it out to him. And then the kick out wide. McLeod just pushed off it by Ward again there. Terrific tackle on Beams. Back to McLeod. McLeod centering ball to Laddams. The Swans were quick to get to Laddams last week. He had a number of ball, but just couldn't get rid of it. The kick towards Rodbren. Bit of a tussle there. Ball on the ground. And Brown for Melbourne, able to sweep it away. Didn't find the target. Gergic working. Untidy, but it comes to Leoncelli. And he loves to go long, doesn't he? He pumps to centre half forward. Oh, mismark there from Goodwin. Handball from Stevens. Gets it to Crow. Only as far as Brown has been busy. Leoncelli getting plenty of it. Tries to pump it long. He's missed an opportunity. They may get away with it here. Hank Grammer and Bruce over the top. And Robertson's going to kick the first goal of the match for Melbourne.
Meet the FBI agent married to her job.
This is a really big day for me. Nobody better spoil it.
And the cop,
Get out of my way!
who might be her perfect match. Sunday, they're teaming up to nail the world's richest thief.
I would never sell out my clients, but talk fast, I'll listen.
Lithgow, Sutherland, Carrera.
How dare you!
Bringing down the mob could be dangerous. Surviving each other will be murder. Hollow Point premieres Sunday 8:30 on 7.
So the Demons get the first. Against the flow, Adelaide have had plenty of it.
No Melbourne players, one coming in now.
I think when you put new players into the middle, particularly negative players that aren't used to it, the one place you do get hurt is at centre bounces, so it'll be interesting to watch how they go, the Crows. Lost the first one, this looks neutral.
Yes, but Bickley and McLeod in the both in the centre for that particular bounce down there. Well, Adams has gone where? I'm trying to pick him. Oh, Andrew. Tyson Edwards has come out of the centre.
White and Clark. Here's Laddams. Very wide. And the wind's going to help that away at centre wing. Stenglein and Uze we see there. There's Stenglein. A couple of goals last week in Sydney.
And he's been quite impressive as a wingman for Adelaide. Came to the club as a defender, but he's a tall, skillful wingman. He just needs to get the ball a little bit more often.
Clark lays it down. McLeod just gets a kick away, almost a half forward, and again a boundary throw in.
What's been the concern about Matthew Clark, who appeared to give them first use of the footy on a lot of occasions last week, Cornsey?
No, they were pretty pleased last week with his effort in the centre. I was concerned that he was changed at the 15-minute mark when he appeared to be on top. But his form has been pretty good.
Bickley's high ball to be a hard one. Perry just pushed forward, and then Edwards took a player out, which was a good result, and Biglan's for goal. Just one strike too many, I reckon, and misses a lot.
He's a big man. He gets motoring, but he needs a bit of time to do it.
It's a good handball coming out from the Crows. Here's Ingerson. That familiar left foot style. Well weighted kick to Robertson. Early goal for him will give him confidence. He's a confidence player. It's a good goal kicker for the Demons last year. The kick to half forward. Uze just held up in the tackle, and he'll get a free kick.
While you're there, boys, the Crows are going for a smaller player up forward. Bode coming on to replace Biglands.
Beautiful kick by Uze, wasn't it, to Schwartz on the lead.
Well, Biglands has given a contest in a couple of times it's been down there.
So Schwartz in the pocket here after Uze had found him, as Bode does come on for Biglands. 4 goals last week, Schwartz. Interesting pre-season for him. It's a good kick, he's got it.
I'm gonna show you how great I am. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. George can't hit what his hands can't see. Now you see me, now you don't. He think he will, but I know he won't. I'll prove to the world that I'm still the fastest, the prettiest, the most classist, the most scientific, the greatest of all time. I am the greatest.
So Schwartz with a goal. No longer the vice-captain, and had a disappointing pre-season from his point of view, and the club's by the sound of it. McLeod's kicked to centre half forward. Rodron just haven't been clean, the Crows forward, have they? Whereas the Demons, 3 times or 2 or 3 times they've gone forward, they've looked pretty promising. Woden chips towards Walsh, trying to run onto it. Leoncelli, that's a result for the Crows. McLeod tries to measure the kick to half forward. Perry, Ingerson, there's Bode, so they've got that crummer down. Collins was good. Collins kicks back towards Sher, who's been busy early, and he takes the mark.
Yeah, good lad. He had a bad year last year in his first year at the club with a torn quadricep, but He's had his chance pre-season. He's just carried on with it pretty well.
He's kicked to half forward. Clark was the target. Nicholson sort of throws it away a bit. Bode would love to get an early clean touch. Back to Perry. Perry gets some distance here to fall forward. Welsh works to the front. Ingerson at the back. Rodman's skill level's normally good. Stenglein, can he kick a goal? He kicked 2 last week. He's got 1 this week. They needed it.
Nearest 7 save, thanks, mate. Just make it $1, sunshine.
So Stenglein's goal closes it up just to 4 points here.
Yes, we have a game.
Well, importantly, McLeod had a couple of possessions in that passage of play, getting the ball into their forward line pretty quickly. Good jump.
It was from right. McDonald, Woden gets it right to full forward. Big fly, both Nicks and Swartz involved with their Crow counterparts. The ball on the ground, well played there by Stevens to sort of kick it away from Robertson, who was getting down low. Beams harassing there. Robertson leaving for Beams. Beams tucked away in the pocket. Centering kick. Needs a chance. Goodwin's got to go against him. Leoncelli at the back. Can they get a boot to the ball? Goodwin did very well twice there.
Well, they did well, the Crows, because they were a man down. I think it was Nietzsche's opponent, Cornsey.
McGregor was injured in that clash. Two forwards went for it. Their 2 backline players went for it. There was a big crunch, and unfortunately Kenny McGregor came off second best, and he's still in the hands of the trainer.
So Scher's kick all watched, huge fly, almost matched by Clark in the end. Robertson had a bit of an area. Stevens has done some good work. McLeod is getting involved, Jared, as you said a moment ago, getting some important touches now. The ball at centre wing. Laddams, centre half forward, Robin in the box seat, pushed underneath, no free kick, he's unlucky I think. Walsh wide, and now the Demons can go away here. Walsh's kick didn't quite find Rigoni, but he has got plenty of time now. He's got Beams wide, but he decides to go to centre half forward, the hot spot. It just hung there in the air for a while. Stevens handball good to Goodwin, to Rasciuto. Rasciuto goes bang into the heart of the centre square. Perry, very good effort. He got up high, didn't he, and then was able to control it. The handball out wide. Edwards slips over to Bode. Bode just tries to measure. Can he get all the way over the back? Shirley. Welsh tries to kick it out of the air, and then Melbourne hold it up for a ball up.
Well, Robert Shirley backed himself there. He's good in the air and didn't quite touch it, or didn't quite hold it.
Well, McGregor's just come from the ground, Cornsey, and Brent Gergich's got a decision to make also. He's been hobbling, he's been out of the play. Effectively, he's let Melbourne be 1 man down. If you can't run, you put your hand up in the air and get off the ground.
He was injured in the last contest with Matthew Robin, where he appeared to push Matthew Robin under the ball, but he came off second best in that one.
So Biglands has gone to the back line for the Crows to take McGregor's place. Gee, Rigoni, he found some space there, didn't he?
Too easy.
Yeah, I just can't understand this type of moves, though. McGregor's now ready to go back on.
Bruce just won it a bit too easily in the end there, and goes to Uze to Robertson at half forward. Leoncelli there, Scher, and also Robertson, and Smart. Gee, Robertson has played this brilliantly. Back to Leoncelli, chips to Beams, got it, goal. Well played, Robertson.
Well,
every cigarette is doing you damage. Chemicals from tobacco smoke get into your bloodstream and can damage the delicate blood vessels inside your eye. We now know that smoking is a major cause of irreversible blindness. Every cigarette is doing you damage.
McGregor is back on.
Now they've got 2 men on Swartz because Crowell's also gone down there. Now he's realised McGregor's back on and he's spare man in defence.
Just a bit more positive handling of the ball from Melbourne in the centre.
Rigoni's had a good couple of minutes. And the Demons midfield have got on top just in the last 5 minutes.
Adam Uze Guy Rigoni, very important touches in that last passage of play.
And Gregor's not too flat, and he's a bit of left right ankle problem there.
So we'll watch him, Neil. Thanks for that. 3-1 to 1-2. So Demons by a couple of kicks here. Stengline tried a toe poke. Rigoni got involved, cut across him cleverly. Forced to go forward here, Melbourne. If they tucked it under, they would have been pinged. It'll be a ball up now.
A clash of heads there too, I think, McDonald and Clark. But it's an intense contest. I think both teams are showing great application to attack the ball. See the clash of heads here? Oh, no, not quite.
And Ingerson has come onto the ground, and he's gone on to Matthew Robran.
Bickley off the ground, but McDonald, Uze, centering kick to centre half forward. Stevens read it well.
Did Gergie come off, Curls?
Yes, he's got an ankle problem. I'll check him out in a second when the Doc's finished with him.
Edwards got it from McGregor. Goes short. Bickley had to wait. He'll be okay now. He can use Bode. He does. Bode's away. Now he goes to full forward. Welsh on the lead. Front spot. He's got a free kick. He was manhandled.
Yeah, it was a scrag, and I think Welsh helped out the umpire make this decision.
Well, I've been watching Matty Collins as the ball's coming in, and he's prepared to hold. And in that case, he really did scrag, and the Welsh fought for front position, did everything right, and deserved the benefit of the umpire's decision there.
Tough pocket, this one.
Very hard. He's got to aim right at the right-hand goalpost.
Sticky with the breezes.
Right-hand goalpost.
Well, he hasn't done that. Pushed it across. Is it a crow mark?
Dropped it.
So boundary throw in. Bigland's just unable to really control it.
That 3 shots at goal in this quarter, Welsh.
For one behind.
At least he's getting it.
Biglands, White, McDonald to Brown, just showed the footy. Back to White. They've got it outside 50 pretty easily, the Demons. They've done that a bit tonight. Smart. And also Uze, and now Uze away to Leoncelli. Stops and props. This classy midfield of the Demons, important early in this match. Schwartz and McGregor. Good contest, well done, McGregor. Stevens has had a pretty good opening turn. Laddams, it sits. Goes to centre wing. Rodron got it. To Smart. It's pushed him wide. I'm not sure if that was the best move. Now back into Rodron, okay. There's a magnificent kick, we know that. Goes down low. That's not such a good kick. He wanted Biglands and it was too much for him. White did very well to hold his feet, but then coughs it up a bit. Welsh a chance, back with Welsh, handball to Bode, misses a chance, has a second crack, Nicholson over the back, little one off the ground, Rashudo, a hard ball, gee, it's a slippery foot at the moment. Woden did pretty well.
He's just going to the line. Touchdown.
Just nobody taking it cleanly. It might be because the ball's wet and slippery.
Still early in the year as well. Pressure's up.
Great pressure from Melbourne. And Mark Rashudo was not going to let him go anywhere.
Yeah, Grigas is up in the calf muscle, boys.
Okay, so Gergic with a calf problem as Brown comes out of defence. The kick to centre wing. Bruce in the front spot. No free kick. Oh, gee, that's poor by Perry. He had 2 players waiting for it, and Bruce was able to hassle him. But he did second effort. Smart, Perry, Bruce. And the Demons may win this here. It's an important ball at centre wing. Bickley got it from Smart. A couple of the old-timers as Bickley goes to full forward. Free kick for the Crows.
Well, he's taking front spot. And maybe Matt Collins a little bit unlucky there because Welsh did appear to stumble. But he has been living dangerously. Just watch it. A hint of hands there, perhaps.
He continues, though, to start from behind. And on those occasions, really, it was only one place that ball was going to go to, and he just needed to take that front position. But there was a really important ball here on the centre wing. It was almost as if there was a collection of players looking around saying, we're going to win this, we're going to win this. And finally, it was Bickley that did.
4th shot for goal in the opening term, and it looks good.
Hi everyone, Gavin Wood and Marianne Van Dorsler here to draw tonight's lucky numbers with Saturday Lotto and Super 66 draw number 2057.
Hello everyone. Well, last week Saturday Lotto had 5 lucky Division 1 winning entries. They shared in over $2.6 million.
We had 2 winners from Western Australia, 1 each from Tasmania, New South Wales and Victoria that collected over $533,000 each.
The Tasmanian winning entry was held by a man who had a hard time convincing his family he wasn't playing an April Fool's Day joke.
And a grandmother from Deer Park actually suffered the same fate. Thought it was an April Fool's joke.
I'd like to try that joke.
Super 66, here we go.
Wouldn't that be a nice one?
It'd be a bit rough if it kind of blew up in your face.
And here are our winning Super 66 numbers. We have 9, 1, 2, 5, 6, and the last one is 6 in Super 66.
And now for tonight's Saturday Lotto, draw number 2057.
Good luck, everyone.
Ah, yes. Look at that. Total prize pool, $10,022,674.42.
And the first number you'll need is number 10 in this draw and Division 1. $2,625,940.69.
Next number down is number 33. Here are tonight's draw officials and government supervisor. They're smiling tonight.
Oh, yes. Number 20.
We had 58 Division 2 winning entries sharing over $681,000 last week.
And number 27.
And 996 Division 3 winning entries sharing over $1.2 million in total. We gave away over $10.1 million to 186,000 Australians.
Number 32 is in there. How they're looking for you?
What are you talking about?
The numbers.
Oh, yes.
And there's number 21. That completes the 6th.
We always get either 330s or 320s.
You think?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
That's my system.
They're not mine anyway. Number 18 is our first supplementary number.
Let's go through them. 10, 33, 20, 27, 32 and 21. Supplementaries 18 and 11. From Gavin Wood and Marianne Van Dorsler, we hope you had those numbers.
Yes, indeed, we do. Best of luck, of course. Your chance to win millions of dollars is on again next Saturday night. Gavin Wood and Marianne Van Dorsler will be there, won't we?
We certainly will, and we'll just share it around again because that's the way we are. Good night.
Bye-bye.
God knows I want to break free.
Back to a kick in it.
Cornsey, Welsh has had 5 shots at goal now. I know he's only kicked the 1 goal, but surely Neil Danaher would have to be saying that Collins isn't the man for him.
But he's lost Brent Gerger because he's another tallish defender. He might just be a little bit limited.
So White to Uze. He's having a pretty big quarter here. Kick wide, beams the fly. Bickley scragged him a bit.
He was pulled.
And I think it's a free kick.
Yeah, there was no doubt about that. Mark Bickley just got the hands around him, pulled him to the ground.
They're trying desperately to get Grigg warmed up on the boundary here, but
If he's got a kick in the calf, though, and
I
it's
don't like the look of it.
basically a corky, it's very difficult to come back and play with those. They just continue to bleed.
Certainly favouring it.
Yeah.
Oh, the Adelaide crowd have seen the replay on the big screen. They don't like it, but there was a suspicion of that left hand around Beam's shoulder, dragging him down.
Well, Collins was pinged at the other end just a moment ago. So Beams for his second goal. He's missed it.
Good to see the crowd's passionate about it.
He got the lucky break, didn't he, Beams, in the grand final when Cameron Bruce pulled out and played.
Lucky until starting time. And the devastation of playing in a losing grand final.
Crowd banging into the centre square. First time we've already seen Neitz, isn't it? It's a good mark. And then pushes out wide. McDonald, careful kick. Can Schwartz turn his man back to McDonald? Again a careful kick and a very effective one. Robertson's been lively, hasn't he?
And that's what's happens when you... Oh, good kick off to Adam Uze, but that's what happens when you don't clear the ball from your kick in. The ball comes back, the screens run players out of position, and there's always loose players to use.
Uze coming up for his 8th possession this quarter. He's been probably Melbourne's best player in this term, along with White, who's also had plenty of it at ground level.
He's probably the best man to go to in this situation too. I mean, he's not quite Stuart Dew with the left foot, but boy, he is a very good kick. He's normally very accurate. That is a terrific kick.
Oh.
He's unlucky on a night like tonight from there.
Yes.
I don't reckon he could have kicked that much better.
Well, I always thought he was a bit to the right, Bruce. I know we've got the new
You were right.
went from left to right. He's a good left foot kick, and he kicked for 3 goals in the last quarter last week, so he knows where the goals are.
Well, again, Sher goes long, as Crow did a moment ago, and this time Biglands takes the mark. So the Crows will clear it here.
Too wide.
Laddams.
He's found the play, but he's come in just so wide.
Ward forcing him even wider. Leoncelli. Rasciuto. Little give to McLeod. Clever. McLeod at 50. Scraggy kick. Woden and Shirley. Terrific play, Woden. And then Phoebe sweeps it to wide. Oh, Bode got there, but couldn't really put in a tackle on him. Edwards. Bruce with him. And Edwards gets the free kick.
Great work, Matthew Bode, to run down Jeff White.
Laddams half volley. Handball inboard. Goodwin, left footer. Can he get some space? Couldn't really. Has to hook. Welsh a chance, though, you'd reckon. A real chance. Well played, Collins.
Yes, it was an excellent spoil. Saved the Demons a goal. It looks like Crow's gone over onto the danger man for the Demons in Robertson. So a new opponent for him. But you think with Ben Hart on the bench, he would be the stand-up to come on and play that half-back line. Maybe there was a premeditated plan that he comes on a quarter time, Corgi.
Good work, Perry. They may not want to expose him to 4 intense quarters, given his hamstring a little bit suspect.
So Perry to bang it back in. Robin the target. Oh, that is a good fly. Not paid. Ball to be won here. Brown working forward, and the Demons hold it up on the death as Uze belts it away. Well, he had a bit of it, Robin.
He had it almost long enough, but probably almost is not good enough. Just couldn't control it. It would have been a very important goal for Adelaide. Nevertheless, we've got a great contest. Both teams committed intensely. It's been tremendous. And I think we're in for a great game of footy.
No doubt about that, Graham. At quarter time, it's the Demons by 6 points over the Crows. The goal scorers Schwartz, Beams and Robertson. And for Adelaide, Welsh, she's had a few tries, and Stengline. So a couple of injuries in the opening quarter has changed the balance a bit. The weather certainly having an impact. It's 21-15 here, with Melbourne leading by 6 points.
Sevens Football Telecast. Proudly brought to you by West End Draft. West End, your thirst. McDonald's, Mac your day. And Mitsubishi Motors.
It's a tough job, and this is the man who has to do it.
Joe.
Delivering bad news every working day for 18 years.
We're not ogres.
And he does it so well, he's up for an award. A day in the life of Adelaide's most hated man. Monday on 7 News.
Make sure your home loan doesn't leave you stranded. For a great deal and the lifestyle you want, call 132224 for a home loan specialist. Make it happen.
Don't mean to be boasting. It's just hard to be humble when you're as great as I am. I'm gonna float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. George can't hit what his hands can't see. Now you see me, now you don't. He think he will, but I know he won't. Let me tell you something. I ain't never really got whooped. When have you ever got stopped? My record don't show nothing about me being stopped. I don't know what it's like to be stopped. I am the greatest.
It is Mitsubishi.
Are you with Mutual Community?
Because everyday wear and tear and road conditions reduce the effectiveness of your power steering without you realising. Petters recommends you have your power steering inspected and serviced on a regular basis. Before it's too late.
No bull.
Petters, straight advice, specialist you understand and no bull.
Coming out of defence, he's storming through the midfield, out on his own, looking good. Oh, that! Oh, we'll be looking at a video of that on Monday. Oh, just unbelievable.
Golden Draft, thanks.
Tommy G and Stan Watts for the TAB.
You sure you've got everything for the picnic now, Stan?
Absolutely, Tommy.
Yeah, what about the corkscrew, mate?
Yeah, got that right here.
Serious Racing returns. Bet on the Outback Picnic races this Easter.
Month after month, Truscott Hi-Fi pulls rabbits out of hats when it comes to prices. Easter is no exception. Sony 51cm TVs $80 off. LG 6-head stereo VCRs $30 off. Sharp View cams $100 off. NEC AB stereo TVs $50 off. And Sony Hi-Fis with 5 CD player, mini disc and dual cassette deck $200 off. Truscott Hi-Fi, Adelaide's lowest prices with up to 24 months interest-free terms.
At Mitre 10, our Easter prices have come crashing down. With a halogen light with motion sensor only $35 or a Bosch line trimmer just $59.95.
On Today Tonight, pensioners betrayed.
Just incredible.
She befriended the elderly and then cheated them out of their life savings.
Why don't you just speak to us about this?
A heartless con, plus reducing your family's debt.
And it's just not complicated at all.
3 Adelaide experts reveal their techniques for fixing the family finances.
You've got to treat it like a business.
And Adelaide's world-beating grannies.
We feel we were late starters, so we have to give everything a go.
Champion triathletes and almost 80. Next week on 7.
Bangs the set. During the Olympics, millions of Australians couldn't get enough of them, and all we wanted was more. Now, finally, the wait is over. Channel 7 county announcers Rory and HG are back soon.
Quarter time at Football Park, and the Demons by a goal over the Crows. It's 3-3 to 2-3.
It's a beautiful day.
Easter AFL Fest, International Rugby. Zone 7 has the Ashes cricket and one-day international series. Watch out.
Now, the other match being played tonight is half-time at Colonial, Collingwood and Fremantle. A number of stations around Australia taking a replay of this match, so if you don't want to know the score to half-time, look away now. So quarter time here. Let's go down to Neil Curley. A few niggles, Curls. I know the boat's gone down to the rooms for the Crows.
Yes, I'll check that out in a minute. But good news for Melbourne supporters. Ricky's back on, so it looks like he's overcome his injury. As we've all seen, there's not much in this footy game. They're both very even. I would guess, having a guess, that the entries into the 50s will be about the same. A lot of the Crows forwards just not taking hold of their marks, whereas the Melbourne forward boys look a little more certain.
Entries into the 50, Bruce. Adelaide slightly ahead, 17 to Melbourne. 17 to Adelaide, 13 to Melbourne.
So we start the second term here with the Demons to the right, leading by a goal. Clark and White. Clark good to Goodwin, but to Woden. The Melbourne midfield was prolific in that opening term, particularly Uze and Leoncelli with 8 possessions each. Crowd's given up a fair bit of territory here and trying to handball it back. They get deep into their forward line, the Demons. Smart gets it from Bickley. He hasn't got much room here, and he's done pretty well, I reckon, to find the line. Just conceding all the way there, the Crows, weren't they, in the end? And Smart had to find some touch.
Melbourne are just a little bit cleaner with their disposal. Their skills look a little bit better in these conditions than Adelaide's have.
McGregor and Schwartz. Robertson, important player early. Brown. Back to Schwartz, Rigoni, just chopped off by Goodwin. Goodwin tries to kick it off the ground. Laddams actually gets in the way. And then Edwards finds some room to Shirley. Melbourne did a good job to hold it in there. They kick the centre wing. Clark and White. White belts away. Laddams' handball. Only to White. Very cleverly done to McDonald. McDonald with some time now. Centering kick. Robertson's the target. Smart, well done. In the front spot. Not paid, not hurled. And Robertson goes for goal and just misses.
He started well, Russell Robertson. He was behind there. Nigel Smart had a good look at the ball. It came to ground, and Robertson, in the first quarter, his recovery was sensational. Pounced on it. couldn't convert, unfortunately. He would be disappointed with that, but it was a great individual effort.
Smart's just going to have to be a little bit careful of his opponent, Bruce. When Smart goes into a contest, Bruce peels off and has been very often on his own. He'll get found eventually.
Rigoni gets it from White, who got it from McDonald. And then Rigoni chips, or not cut off, though, really effectively by Edwards.
Yeah, Tyson Edwards coming in from the side, not quite sure what was coming at him. Now the ball is wet, but he probably should have held that one.
Such weather conditions as these, Cornsey, you'd throw the big Roo and Rashudo into the clinches, wouldn't you? Get him into the hustle and bustle.
He started on the half-forward flank, as has Andrew McLeod. And Ben Hart is still on the bench. I'm perplexed about that one.
It's not unlike the Harvey Burke argument with Tim Watson last year at times with the Saints, but see how it unfolds here tonight. Brown's handball away. Leoncelli unable to, but White gets some space. Well played to the man who's been outstanding in the first quarter and a bit, Russell Robertson.
Well, they're both doing the same thing, both Robertson and Bruce. They're just peeling off after a contest, and they're expecting that their midfield will get the ball back. They'll turn it back over from the Crows, and they've been free far too often. In fact, I thought that Leoncelli was very lucky not to be awarded for throwing that. He didn't make contact at all, and should have been a free to the Crows.
So Robertson's kick, close. I think he's got it. A second goal for him.
Silence would suggest a goal.
A serial killer's return.
It's now not good.
A client's breakdown.
I will not let that be my life.
And an ending you'll never see coming. Seven's new practice, Monday. Two different opinions.
Don't make it personal.
Of course it's personal.
One deadly result.
A young woman has just died because we couldn't organise the best care for her.
Who's going to take the fall?
What happened? I don't know.
All Saints, Tuesday.
Well, it's not a big margin, but it is the largest so far of the match at 28-15. Melbourne seemingly just getting on top here. Clark and White. Edwards out of the centre, just bangs the centre half forward. Rodbren. Gergic back on him, as Curls told us. Walsh found the footy. It was a hard one to find. Rashudo in there hard. The ball at 50 for the Crows. Terrific handball from Brown to Leoncelli. And now to McDonald, who's also getting heavily involved in the game alongside of a number of his other midfielder teammates. Stevens, who's had neats pretty much so far in this game. Neats one mark in the opening term. Gets close to the fence and a ball in.
Fellas interchange for Melbourne. Pitt, Phoebe, Williams, Jolly.
Thanks, Curl. So Jolly off the rookie list. Their young ruckman getting his first game tonight. Good one there.
He's been good in and around it, in and under Leoncelli tonight. Started the game well. Has continued on for the 40 minutes of play that we've had.
He's emerged as a class player, hasn't he, for somebody who started late in AFL football.
They've actually got a few of the Demons. Rigoni's a bit similar. Not as classy maybe as Leoncelli, but a late starter. McDonald took forever to really make it.
Woden was the quintessential late starter.
Yeah. Crow and all of those blokes in the midfield have added up to a terrific lineup for the Demons. Edwards got it short from Stevens and found Rashudo. So here's the Roo, the captain. First game as captain at home. Goes to centre half forward, and McLeod just got rid of his man. Perry decided to break the tackle, then goes very short and very wide. Not a great night for doing that sort of thing. Rodman works it back inboard. Gergic, Laddams, Perry, McLeod didn't take it cleanly in the end. Uze back to McLeod, finds Rodman. Rodman, big high kick. This will be just about impossible to mark. You'd reckon Collins, Welsh. Gee, Welsh nearly did it. And then Collins comes away to Gergic.
Gee, that's a great contest, Collins and Welsh at the moment, but Adelaide need more than one go-to player in their forward line.
Gergic to half-back. Bickley's read it well, then goes short, and he's found his target.
Skip left.
This is the 18-year-old. You saw him last week, Gerard, in Sydney. He got a few touches early.
Yeah, they almost steamrolled him last week. It was a fair baptism of fire, but he knows where the ball is. He keeps bouncing up and he keeps getting at it.
Well, he was their 4th pick in the draft last year, taken at number 53. So he's jumped over a few to get here.
He's a goer, Bruce. He runs to where the ball is. He gets in and under, and he gets his share of it.
Let's take a good kick. 49 metres out. Has he got it? Touched. It was a good kick, but he punched it hard.
And he punched it. It was the right kick. He just needed to get a little bit more leg through it, because I think he's got the leg to be able to make the distance. He was trying to punch it to avoid the effect of the wind. In the end, not enough distance.
So Walsh to bring it in. Certainly not a huge crowd tonight. The conditions aren't great, and there's a couple of other big things happening in this town this weekend. But you think around about 32,000 to kick out wide to half-back. Crows pushing forward. They've got a bit of the footy in the last few minutes. McLeod back to Rashudo, and then Rashudo out wide. Oh, gee. He actually picked out a Melbourne man who made a mess of it, and then Robin strolls in and kicks a goal.
Yes, Adelaide is persisting with the roving role of Matthew Robin. I'd like to see him closer to goal. In fact, now he is out of the forward pocket. I think that's where he's going to do the most damage to opposition teams.
So Crows within a goal here after Robin's clean finish. Stenglein to Laddams. Goes to full forward. Robin's got it.
Great mark.
It's taken a while to get in there.
Tried hard last week, Chauncey. Tried hard last week to get him down to full forward.
Look, he's a very good play. He has his critics in Adelaide, but he attacks the ball hard. He takes a good mark, and he's a beautiful kick.
Graham, update on young Bode. He's having his right wrist strapped, a bit tender. There may be a little crack there.
Not good if that happens.
In his first game tonight for the Crows. So we're right behind Robin here. He is a beautiful kick. And he's missed, of course.
I'm going to try and steer him, you know.
Yep. He had to go left-hand post there, didn't he? And he's pushed it away.
Yes, he'll kick himself for that, because in the context of the game, it's an important goal.
Yeah, just a bit of momentum starting to build there for the Crows. They got the goal from Robin, then they got the quick kick out of the centre, and that's how you start to build momentum.
Walsh's wide kick now. He's had a kick into the Crows to Clark.
It's out of bounds in full.
They've missed a few of the Crows tonight in that opening term. Welsh had a number of shots, and they blazed a bit. Conditions not easy. Robin, Nicholson, Walsh at the back. Still Walsh. Perry put the tackle on him. Back to Brown. And then Brown bangs it away to centre wing front spot. Mark taken by Leoncelli.
He's done a couple of nice things, Brown.
He has, and he's had a fair bit of the ball. Leoncelli, long kick. Smart tries to mark at the back. Mopped up by Stevens. Done well, Stevens.
Plenty of ball.
Floats it back. Not a good kick. Walsh on hands and knees. Perry with a bit of time here, but takes forever. It's a poor return from Terry there. Perry, I should say. Gergich held up. Walsh. Then Phoebe. Little handball. Here's your man again. Jared Brown wants the line, and he finds it. Is he going to be pinged? No, of course not. He shouldn't be.
Well, he should be.
Well,
because he had no other intention other than to put the ball out of bounds.
Well, he ran it along the ground for 20 metres.
I don't want to knock the young kid, because he's really played. Last week he had some moments, and tonight he's been really good, but that was a deliberate out of bounds.
Laddams. Bickley. Just sets it up here, Bickley. Bickley to centre half forward.
Someone at the back.
Collins. Nicholson, who's they got a high one. Played for it. And then McDonald away. And the Demons with a real chance here. White to run onto it.
Gee, that was a good run to Shepherd.
White wide to Schwartz. Good mark. Shepherd coming from Luke Williams. Cameron Bruce. He's a good finisher, this fella. And he's kicked a beautiful goal.
At these prices, don't miss being a part of the action at Repco.
Motorguard batteries for 4 and 6 cylinder cars from just $34.95. Champion spark plugs, 4-pack from $9.95, 6-pack from $14.48. Karcher, high pressure washer with trolley and dirt blaster, clean up at $189. New Shell Helix Super, 5 litre oil with easy pour spout, $13.95.
At Repco, we know what it is, we know where it goes.
Let's play on.
So that's clever goal by Cameron Bruce.
It wasn't the classic drop, was it?
No, it was a Carl Dittrich drop. He used to make them spin twice before he connected, and that's exactly what that did.
That wasn't the only thing Carl used to drop on a footy field, did he?
Or spin.
So in the centre, so the Crows out of the middle here to McLeod. McLeod attacks wide to Robran. Didn't quite get to him. Nicholson front spot. Robran looks to be the go-to man, doesn't he? Gergich back to Walsh. So the Demons by a couple of goals here. Rigoni, good hands.
Good hands.
Just in that passage of play, you see the difference between the two sides. The skill level of Melbourne looks about 20% higher than the Crows at the moment under pressure. The pass to Robran should have got there. That kick to Rigoni was absolutely needed to be 100%, and it was.
Russell Robertson didn't take that mark, but he did very well then. He had 3 Crows players to beat. He has come to play. He got it. Nigel Smart was able to bundle him out of bounds, but it was a good effort on both players' part.
So Bodon, as Curls was telling us, he comes on for Skipworth. It's one of those, Stengler, one of those games you reckon the Crows need to stay within a goal or two, don't you? It's 5-3 at the moment. Brown gets it back to Walsh.
He's a clever little rooster, this fella.
Yeah, it's good.
He's a good player. Now Brown at centre wing, running on, and then banging to half forward. Can someone take the mark? Schwartz front spot. At the back, well done, Goodwin, Crow. Stevens just above a shirt, had to wait for it. Back to Stengline. Kicks to half forward. Perry defensively. Bodson will give okay. Bickley misses a target. That skill level that Gerard was talking about a moment ago, and the Demons may make the Crows pay. Robertson wide. Uze, I think, may have left it in the end, and Williams called him out, and then Williams has got a man to centre half forward, and he finds him, and it's Liancelli.
How can he have that much space?
Well, it's what the other 2 half forwards, Bruce and Robertson, are doing. They're just not all going to the contest. Somebody is always just hanging back and playing and making there an option, and this is an interesting move, Curls.
Studley, Ben Hart replacing Robran. Strange one.
Oh, goodness me. Does that inspire you, Curls? Ben Hart has gone to the half-forward line in previous games for the Crows and done well. He's a bit of a pinch hitter in that regard. Maybe this is the night, but he's not your classic go-to forward.
So Liancelli about 45 metres out. Long kick. Hooking, I think. 4 behind. Well, the interesting one, that Robran off the ground. He's looked in pretty good nick, Robran.
Well, I just think they've been able to steal the ball away from him on a couple of occasions, but he's looked dangerous.
The last ball never really got to him, did it?
Brent Gergich was pretty tight on him as well.
Goodwin, long kick, good mark by Clark.
That's what he has to do.
Wide to Edwards at half-back. Then Edwards kick along the line to Laddams. He's got him. Bit of a let-off there, the Liancelli miss for the Crows.
Young Jolly replacing White for his first run.
So Darren Jolly about to come on. Laddams' high ball. Hart, Nicholson. Nicholson, I think, not paid. Ward trying to get through. Hart puts the tackle on, ball up.
Well, Nicholson playing well in front there. Benny Hart trying to come over the top. Benny Hart will be enthusiastic. He doesn't get down into the forward line that often. But the Melbourne defence is playing superbly at the moment.
Hasn't played for 7 weeks, Hart. You'd put him in his normal position.
I think so. And so he can at least see the ball coming at him and run straight ahead.
So there's Jolly and Clark and Ricciuto and McDonald. And Jolly getting in for a hard tackle, and the Demons are away.
This is where they're winning it.
Here's your clever little rooster, Curls. It's Walsh as he kicks to centre half forward. Bruce front spot. Good mark on Scher. Just got a bit of a height advantage, hasn't he, on Scher? And he's got Liancelli again on his own. He'd love to run on. He should kick this one, Liancelli. Measures it, gets it.
Got a lot of jobs to do this Easter? Then get into Mitre 10 and save with 6-litre accent acrylic low sheen or satin $47.95 or a 1.8 metre galvanised steel step ladder $45.
Hello?
Yeah, look, I want to quit smoking.
Sure, well, you've taken the first step. That's great.
Planning ahead is really important.
And I can send you a quit book if you'd like.
Call Quitline on 131 848. 131 848.
Sorry, Bruce, the Melbourne runner just charged out to Walsh to say well done, set that goal up beautifully, and looks like Robert coming back onto the ground.
Correct. Laddams to Rashudo, to Scher, up to centre wing, goes to half forward, Hart making a contest, Nicholson coming across, Bode's left footer, just a wobble. Is it not going to make it, I don't think, in the end? Ward digs in deep.
Leon Shelley again.
So that's Matthews, run off Matthew Scher, who was involved in that forward movement. As soon as it went forward, Leon Shelley ran to the other side.
And Robertson, so Leon Shelley and Robertson, two of the big stars, aren't they, for Melbourne in this first half? Robin still waiting to come back on. Kicks to centre half forward, Schwartz front spot, well done by McGregor. Uze had a terrific opening term. Handball by Stenglein, okay, to Edwards, to Clark, to Crow. He's in a bit of trouble here. Back to Edwards, wide, that'll be all right. He'll find Rashudo, but the Crow's very wide. Still Robin pacing the ground, wanting to come on. I think, not sure who's coming off for him, actually. Rashudo down the line. Goodwin the target. That's a terrific fly.
Oh, no.
Well, Scher's coming off for him.
I think what will happen is Benny Hart will go back onto Leon Shelley curls, and Robin will go forward into the forward pocket. Matty Scher's been okay, but Leon Shelley's given him the slip in the last 10 minutes.
So Scher's off and Robin on. Clark and Jolly, Gergic. It's good to see him back. Leon Shelley, what a game he's playing. He teases, doesn't he? Runs his full measure. Wonderful kick. Bruce has looked good forward here.
Looking ragged, the Crows.
Kicking wide, Robertson. And Neil, I think that's symbolic of that particular play of what you just said.
Look, now is the time to get Rashudo, McLeod, Bickley and Goodwin around the ball. Simon Goodwin's been okay, but they just have. You've got to throw the defensive tactics out the window now, because the game will blow right open. You must win the ball and you must attack if you're Adelaide.
So Robertson with a couple of goals here, kicking from 48 metres. It's not going to be a goal, this one. Pushing away. And Neitz and also Stevens boundary throw in.
He's having a great game, Russell Robertson. Probably hasn't hurt Adelaide on the scoreboard as much as his endeavour has.
We're going to get the back. McGregor's handball chopped off. Back to Cameron Bruce. Another goal.
It's not evil. It's not scary. Here, kitty, kitty.
It's Dr. Evil's pussy.
They may not have the looks, but you will have a friend for life.
Meet a cat that's not as evil as it looks. All new Harry's Practice, Sunday. Then,
The journey's begun.
from media chaos.
We've got a league.
To the photo shoot from hell.
You've got to be realistic about what you look like.
I can't retrieve any photos out of this.
And their name revealed.
We will leave with a name.
Pop Stars Sunday on 7.
Lovely handball coming out, I think, from Luke Williams to Cameron Bruce. So Bruce with a couple of goals. And Melbourne right on top now at 7-5 to 3-5. Bigland's on the ball against young Jolly. Uze just couldn't find it. Leon Shelley, outstanding. Edwards, good tackle by Schwartz. Melbourne going in for the kill here in this first half. And Smart takes Robertson on. Bruce's handball. I think it's a free kick here going to Smart.
Rashudo's gone to full back, or along that half back, full back line, picking up Bruce.
That's a good place to put Rashudo, your best ball winner.
Do you detect a note of cynicism amongst the two old scribes?
No doubt. There's no doubt there's some pessimism in this Crows camp at the moment. McDonald to Brown, having a terrific game. Then turns to centre half forward. McGregor, Robertson, Smart at the back. Uze, Stevens held up pretty well. Bull comes out. McGregor or Stevens. Probably should have put the tackle on then, McDonald. The hip and shoulder. Bode misses it. It's not happening for the Crows. Then Bode looks for a free kick, doesn't get it. Melbourne in and under, a lot harder at the moment. Leon Shelley, and it falls into Uze's arms. Uze's got players everywhere. Comes out wide. Schwartz stops, props, and then kicks a goal.
Great kick.
Terrific kick.
Well, there are There are real danger signs for Adelaide. Look,
The resistance has just stopped, hasn't it?
The endeavour is there, but their execution is not.
I reckon the resistance has fallen away by 50% in the last 5 minutes.
The trouble is the wrong player's being tagged at the moment. Leoncelli's been the really dangerous player. Woden hasn't been a threat. Uze has been sensational, and you can see Uze and Leoncelli, their confidence is just up and bubbling, and everything they're doing is...
Uze's had a poor quarter, though. He hasn't had any of it this quarter. They've locked him down.
He's been at the ball, he's been through the ball, he's been at least pushing it forward.
So 5 goals here on a night where goals won't be really easy. Jolly and then Ward. Melbourne playing in front. Bigland's back to McGregor. Good mark, Edwards, front spot now. Can Adelaide get any sort of system going here? Edwards punching hard to fall forward. Welsh, well done, Nicholson, building away. Bode at 50. He's got that wrist injury, as Curls told us. Back to Bickley. Bickley centering it for Goodwin. McDonald just got rid of Goodwin really cleverly, and then Walsh's back turn only as far as Laddams, and Laddams, who couldn't miss against the Bulldogs in the Ansett Cup, sprays it from behind.
So plenty of the ball, though, Laddams. You'd be pleased with the numbers on the possessions at 15 for a young kid. That's a lot of ball in one half.
Yes, he's gone to the wing now. He's on McDonald, who's also had a reasonable game for Melbourne. Just not able to straighten up time there.
Rain is just starting to, boys.
Yes, really pouring here, isn't it? Just where the Crows get their goals from. I mean, it's the perennial question, isn't it?
Well, you win the ball in the midfield and you get it forward to a reasonably balanced or structured forward line. Look, Perry's been competitive. Walsh in the first quarter was excellent. Haven't seen him this quarter.
Long kick by Walsh, not to be confused with Welsh. Bigland's handball. Bickley to Bode at 50. Well, Bode's going to centre for Robran. Can he get it? No, over the top. Then Stenglein was flat-footed. Gets a second crack to Robran. Robran on the left foot to fall forward. A one-out situation. Welsh was at the back. Gergic in the front spot. Ball still in play. Now out.
Having the small forward is fine when you've got the whole forward line open and you're kicking lead passes into a lead, but when it's just going to be a bomb like that, it's very much weighing in Collins' favour.
Well, that's not a bad thing if you've got the crummers at ground level when it comes off hands, but Melbourne are just too desperate in defence.
Jolly being competitive early. G. McDonald. Good tackle though by Biglands. And then McDonald on the up. Phoebe's handball cut off by Goodwin. Adelaide have really got to do something here before half-time.
Hey, Jared, did Greg Williams ever play much at fullback area?
What are you trying to say, Curls?
Well, I just asked you.
He doesn't want Rashudo back there, obviously. I mean, I guess the matchup's taken him back there for the moment. But he's probably not the only one that's thinking about that right now, Neil. Edwards. Bigland slaps it to Goodwin. Out to Welsh. Welsh from about 50. Gergic getting back, and it's a behind. Well, what do you think, Graham and Jared, with the matchup that's got Rashudo in the goal square at fullback at the moment?
Mark Rashudo is a great on-ball player. He's your leader. He provides physical presence around the ball. Robert Shirley's in the centre running with Woden. You could easily put Rashudo in instead of Robert. To throw the tags away now because they're just not working.
Melbourne are going to make the Crows look very, very ragged in this game.
Well, there's a long way to go, Curls. It's 8 goals to 3. Leoncelli in the back pocket, but they certainly look a far better outfit in this first half. A lot classier and with a better structure and a better team sense.
Don't forget, though, Curls, I'm not sure what the expectations were from you coming into the season, but when Melbourne played in the grand final last year, and I guess the expectation, certainly outside of Adelaide, was that the Crows would be a bottom 4 side.
But you don't lose at home.
The bottom 4 sides do regularly.
Leoncelli's kick to half forward. Smart getting back. Then hooks it around. He's wanting Goodwin. He got a bounce. Goodwin, the handball's going to come unstuck here. He was under the pump. Uze quickly onto the boot, into a bit of space at centre half forward. Attacking hard was Neats. Tackle.
Oh, he's called high. It was an interesting tackle because it was like a backhanded tackle, but the umpire thinks it. Just watch how Ben Hart gets hold of him here.
It's over the shoulder.
Over the shoulder. Sorry.
It's a good call.
Sorry. To all those Melbourne supporters, I retract that.
The umpire was very clear there in his indication.
So Neats, only a couple of touches, but chance to kick a goal, the captain, just before half-time. What a terrific term they've had, the Demons here. It's a stalemate when they led 5-3 for a while, and then they just got that 3-goal break, and now they're increasing it pretty rapidly. It's a beautiful kick. It's a goal. Another one for the Demons.
It all started with a little accident. Now Dharma's in mother-in-law's bad books.
Still on for lunch on Tuesday? I don't think so, Dharma. Well, why not? Because I'm never speaking to you again.
So, is there any way she can break the ice?
Please, can we talk about this, Kitty? Let us just pretend it didn't happen, Dharma. Oh, like this?
Say it! You're mad at me! Of course I am mad at you!
It's chaos at the country club on a 1-hour Dharma and Greg Sunday.
It's a bit lopsided, this scoreboard suddenly, isn't it? 3-7 to 9-5.
Yeah, they've been pretty impressive, the Demons. The skill level has been quite exceptional in these conditions.
Well, they've kicked 5 unanswered goals. We put a stat out at the start of the game with Sydney last week when the Swans took charge in the second quarter and then the third against the Crows. So it's a little bit of history repeating itself here. 5 unanswered goals before half-time. Adelaide do need 1 or 2 to give them something to go in with. Both players go to ground, then Collins holds up Welsh. Chance here, Bickley pushing forward. Gergic getting across. Phoebe's handball to Walsh, who's been outstanding back there. And then he wants the line, and that is deliberate, and he will be pinged.
But nevertheless, you have to love the way he plays. I've got an idea he was a soldier, this young fella.
Bickley's kick doesn't get a target. Woden, who we really haven't seen in this term. White. Leoncelli, we've seen in both terms, and he finds the line for a boundary throw-in. So again, the Crows are in the forward pocket with a chance to do something, and the kick missing its target.
Is that his natural hair colour, Joe?
Who's that?
Gergic, you mean?
Brent Gergic.
Not sure if Jared's an expert on that.
No.
Edwards to Beams.
Just having a look at the stats, and once again, despite the difference on the scoreboard, the Crows have had the ball inside their forward 50 as many times as Melbourne. Forward structure just not there to convert.
Schwartz to Bruce. Crow with him, working towards the line. Neitz tries to get a kick away. Ben Hart, so first time we've really seen him with the ball. Kicking wide, Bode and Walsh. Bode just searches for it now, pushes back, but only as far as Beams. Good handball under pressure. Ragoni's quick kick to half forward. Stevens with his eyes on it, belts it away. Down to McGregor, back to Latham. 16th possession for him as he goes to centre wing. Biglands, misses it, and then fumbles, and then terrible handball to Bode. Boy, I reckon...
See, that's what happens though, Bruce, when things start to come apart. Young players, they tense up, they drop marks they should take, they give the handball too quickly. You're forcing things rather than when you're running and it's working for you, things just happen nice and smoothly. You're always in control, and Adelaide losing control dramatically here.
Ragoni's kick to centre wing. McLeod, we haven't seen much of him either in the second term. The handball out is a good one. Kick forward there by Brown. Dick's terrific take, wonderful handball. Missed there by Robertson. He hasn't missed much today, or tonight. Pushes out wide towards Bruce. It's at the 50. McLeod, can he shrug them off? Finally does. To Crow. Crow's poor kick. Leoncelli, can the Demons get a late one here? Leoncelli running up to half forward, runs his full measure, goes to full forward. Big fly came from Rashudo. Beams his left foot, just misses. It's a behind.
Well, Mark Rashudo had every intention of attacking the ball fiercely there, and that probably counted against him. He went at it so hard, couldn't take the mark, and it fell to the Melbourne player. And unfortunately, Ben Beams, even though he was on his correct foot, his natural foot, not able to convert. Luckily for Adelaide.
Hart wide to Crow. But this last 20 minutes for the Crows is about as limp as you see an AFL team get, don't you? I mean, it's a bit depressing the way they're playing at the moment.
I think you're taking a little bit of credit away from Melbourne, Bruce.
Well, I might be doing that, but they have been good, the Demons. But Adelaide were far from that in that term. Melbourne kicking 6 goals to 1, and they lead at the long break by 35 points, and seemingly have this match wrapped up.
They do, and Adelaide players, their heads are down, almost to a man, their heads are down, and the game fell apart for them in about 10 minutes when where Melbourne just dominated, converted their opportunities, and Adelaide's endeavour had been there, but it's not there at the moment.
Well, the Demons did have a good term. It's all happening for them at the moment, and at half-time, they lead by 35 points over the Crows.
Tonight's 7 News weather update comes to you.
Hello again. We'll have a cool to mild day tomorrow with a few showers tonight and at first tomorrow. On local waters, southwesterly winds of 20 to 30 knots, easing to 10 to 15 knots by evening, with seas up to 2.5 metres. In the city, showers clearing. Our top will reach 19 degrees after an overnight low of 15. Fine and partly cloudy for the next few days, back up to 21 on Wednesday. Enjoy your evening. Good night.
At Bunnings Warehouse, you'll find the lowest prices on everything you need for your Easter projects. Gutter guard only $1.89, 15-piece screwdriver set a low $9.99, 6-litre interior acrylic $39.90, 45-litre storage box great value at $12, and 25-litre potting mix just $3. If you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
Bunnings Warehouse!
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Hi, home improvers. I'm blowing prices to pieces for Stratco's big sale.
Heritage pool fencing, $57.80 a metre. Stratco fan sheets, $11.65. Laserlight polycarbonate sheeting, $13.65 a metre.
Prices blasted.
Stratco veranda roofing, $10.50 a metre. Stratco gable garages with sliding doors and Heritage garden sheds, 12 months interest-free.
The Stratco big sale is on now. It'd be a big mistake to miss it.
To create exceptional performance. Design technology. Kumo.
The Prince of Darkness returns to Australia in an exclusive concert event not to be missed. Alice Cooper is returning to the stage with his theatrical and debauched stage show that's seen him pack arenas all around the world. Alice Cooper, the undisputed godfather of shock rock, is on his way as part of the Brutal Planet World Tour. Proudly presented by the International Touring Company.
The Lounge Sale. Be advised, don't buy any lounge suite until you see South Australia's largest lounge specialist, or you'll definitely pay too much. Up to 50% off and interest-free terms. But hurry, you better be quick. Discount Lounge Centre, Ranella, Parafield and Keswick.
Tony Barlow Menswear announces the most incredible suit offer this year. Every Hugo Boss, Nino Cerruti, Missoni and Emporio suit comes with a free Italian shirt, free Italian tie, free Italian shoes, saving you $400. Tony Barlow's suit offer with free shirt, tie and shoes valued at $400 for a limited time. Don't miss it.
In the race to clean up your backyard, you're on a winner with the Ryobi mulching blower backs. They clean up at up to 250 kilometres an hour. There's no pit stops. Just hit the lever to swap from blower to back at full power. And everything is completely mulched for the garden. There's an electric or petrol-powered model for every yard. Ryobi puts the power in your hands.
Well, it's a 6 scoreboard on the left, isn't it? But pretty good on the right. A 6-goal second term in these conditions, just one for the Crows. And at half-time, it's Melbourne by 35 points over Adelaide. And it's just hard to see them getting back in with the Crows.
Oh, I think that's a fair point, Bruce. You'd have to be a Demon supporter to be enjoying what you're witnessing. It's one-sided. It looks as if one side has almost given up in round 2. That's incredible.
In Melbourne, manufacturing guys, I mean, everybody on the forward line seems to be playing with some flair. Uze's been important for them. And Robertson was just everywhere in the first quarter, wasn't he?
Yeah, he combined well with Uze a couple of times, but he was just head down, having a go. He's not absolutely the most skillful player in the game, but he just gives you what you want on the forward line, and that's just somebody charging in at the loose ball.
We saw 3 or 4 of their very good players in that passage of play. Leoncelli, one of them getting it over the top to Beams. Cameron Bruce has also been a good forward for them, hasn't he?
He's made some space, and he really is giving Nigel Smart a fair toweling at the moment. You just look at some of their more senior players, the Crows, and you just can't help but ask the question, are they still hungry? They've got a couple of premiership medallions in their belt. Have a look at the way he drops this ball. It is an absolute beauty. Slow-mo down, that is just incredible, that conversion.
He made it tough for himself, but he still kicked the goal. The ability from half-back to set it up has been impressive. Leon Chili was on the end of one of them, and we've talked about Walsh a bit during this match and how good he's been.
Well, here he comes, the Rooster, as Curls called him. And look, the skill level we highlighted a couple of times, I think, has been important. Now, that has been kicked to Bruce's advantage. Fortunate to pay the mark. He should have had it punched away, but once again, it was Leoncelli just peeling off. He was keen to play on Bruce. I think you're right. He likes kicking them on the run rather than from set shots, but he did it well.
There's no doubt that Neil Curley and Graham Corns are being a little bit pessimistic about about the way the Crows are set up. This is one of the big ones with Rashudo in the goal square at full back.
And I think they're justified on this occasion. Rashudo's just up against just a young kid there, and he should be in the action and giving the leadership and giving the drive. And at this stage, the game's probably gone for them. Let's hope they can come back and make a competitive crack in the second half.
Inside 50 more to the Crows. They just wasted so much early when they probably should have been 3 or 4 in front.
It creates a big argument. Is it the problem with the lack of skill of the players kicking it in, or is it the lack of players on the end of it? It's very much a chicken and the egg, and I know very much Graham Corns thinks it's just the lack of quality forwards.
So 8 centre breaks to 4 as well, but at the moment they are in a lot of trouble. Just where they're going to get the goals from is the big worry. So, Gerard, don't get too depressed. There's a second half still to go. And as always, we are looking forward to it. And we'll be back with more right after this break. You're watching the first half here. It's 35 points to the Demons over the Crows.
Welcome to Silver's Grand Magic Circus, a new and exciting spectacular. World-class performers from 15 different countries. And for the first time in Australia, the Gauchos of Malambo. Amazing animals and incredible illusions you'll have to see to believe. There is no other circus like Silver's Grand Magic Circus.
This amazing circus at Benithan Park from the 4th of April. Book now at Bass.
All businesses are made up of people. When one of them is injured, productivity suffers and costs blow out. Workplace injury affects the health of your entire company.
Get your Easter bargains at Cunningham's. 10-gram Easter eggs, 12 for $2. 17-gram eggs, a crazy 10 for $2. 65-gram pack of 4 eggs, 99 cents a pack. 300-gram pack of 6 hot cross buns by Balfour's, $1.49. Huge 60-gram eggs, 89 cents. 150-gram rabbits, 3 for $5. 130-gram solid eggs, 99 cents a pack. Max 180-gram chocolate bunny biscuits, 99 cents a pack.
Month after month, Truscott Hi-Fi pulls rabbits out of hats when it comes to prices. Easter is no exception. Sony 51cm TVs, $80 off. LG 6-head stereo VCRs, $30 off. Sharp View cams, $100 off. NEC AB stereo TVs, $50 off. And Sony Hi-Fis with 5 CD player, mini disc and dual cassette deck, $200 off. Truscott Hi-Fi, Adelaide's lowest prices with up to 24 months interest-free terms.
Insure your home and contents with the company you trust. Because life can be tough without your TV.
You'd look great as a blonde.
Well, I've never colored my hair.
Try Nice and Easy. It works with your own tones and highlights. She's gonna stop traffic. It's nice and easy to be natural.
Sounds like you need something mighty big on taste for a mighty small price. Whoa! Like my double crunch burger, the mighty big taste that'll rock ya. And at just $2.95, the price will bring the house down.
Welcome to Silver's Grand Magic Circus, a new and exciting spectacular. World-class performers from 15 different countries. And for the first time in Australia, the Gauchos of Malambo. Amazing animals and incredible illusions you'll have to see to believe. There is no other circus like Silver's Grand Magic Circus.
This amazing circus at Benithan Park from the 4th of April. Book now at Bass.
Will your premium go up if you have an accident? Then you need our lifetime no-claim bonus. Qualify and keep your maximum discount for life, no matter how many accidents you have, even if they're your fault. Call your local car insurance specialist at Western QBE now.
Half-time at Football Park here, and Melbourne 9-6 over the Pros, 3-7.
The AFL, in association with its premier partner, Carlton and United, proudly presents the 2001 Premiership season.
Other match at Colonial tonight must be deep into the third quarter. It's Collingwood against Fremantle. Let's have a look at some of the highlights.
The game style is to go a bit longer tonight. They're looking for their tall forwards in Pavlich and Modra. So let's see how it pans out for them.
Just the one behind at the moment. What a perfect snap, however, by Longmuir. Wearing the great number 26 jumper of Gavin Brown. Here's a steal in the middle of the ground. Opportunity now for the Magpies through Rintoul. He's already kicked one. He goes for home. And that's in the two. As Buckley goes up towards the half-forward line. Kinnear was a target. Oh, here's an opportunity for Fraser. Great start to the second quarter by Big John.
First half highlights, so if you don't want to know the score because there's a replay for a number of stations around Australia, look away now. The Herald Sun, Sunday Herald Sun with Scotty Palmer as always on a Saturday night, and what a story from the MCG today, Scotty, with the Bulldogs really upsetting, and particularly Tony Liberatore, the Tiger fans, and Matthew Knights and Danny Frawley.
We've got a big front page on it tomorrow, Bruce, yeah. He's the shortest player in the league. At 35, he's one of the oldest. I tell you what, he's one of the most decorated too, but he can stir emotions down there at the MCG. Richmond's fuming tonight and declaring revenge on the Western Bulldogs for a blood-curdling opening down there, which Matthew Knights spilled a lot of blood, and Tony Liberatore was hooted from then on. The Richmond coach, Danny Frawley, said this: the Richmond Football Club is a really proud club, and there'll be payback time. Every dog has his day, excuse the pun. I'm not certain what happened, although one of our leaders has multiple stitches. Maybe he fell over his shoelaces. The Tigers will not forget it when we meet again in round 17. And like everyone, Bruce, everyone expects an investigation to take place on the incident because and a couple of Tigers could be involved too when they're seen on screen. But that's not worrying because Richmond said they're only human, these boys. And of course, Terry Wallace, he said it was important for the Dogs today to make a strong statement at the start of the match. And he said it's been suggested that we were heading down the ladder. But he said our players keep on standing up and putting their bodies on the line. There's a couple of injuries, but mainly to Richmond. Brad Ottens was helped off with an ankle injury. Nick Daffy's got a strained knee, and Benny Holland a thigh. But there's going to be repercussions, Brucey.
No doubt about that, Scotty. That story will keep on running strongly over the next few days. What about David Parkin's influence? They broke a drought, didn't they, Hawthorn, at Optus today?
Yeah, 10-year drought. It's an amazing sequence of losses out there, but there was no Parkin influence, they said. Peter Schwab said that we did our homework, the other coaches. David's history came into account, but he said it was the players like young Crow that did the job today, and they did a wonderful job. Of course, Carlton lost a lot of momentum, according to Wayne Britton, when Stephen Silvani hit the point post. He hurt his hip and had to go off for a while. But the Blues, quite shocked by that performance of the Hawks today. They've got a few injuries, the Hawks. They've got Holland with a thigh, Harford concussion, Wood a hamstring, and Chick an ankle.
They've got the Bombers next on Thursday night. What about Big Jack Elliott, their president? He had a bit to say today.
Yeah, Big Jack got up and he said, I'm going to have a word to say about everything today. Adrian Whitehead, the court case that'll be coming up. He said, we're going to fight it to the end and we're going to win. He talked about Waverley. We have to sell it. And he also spoke about Craig Bradley, who'll decide his future in round 20 this year. And then he said, I want a white line drawn across the ground so half the players can go up that end, half down that end. There won't be any of those uncontested marks, and it'll be one-on-one from then on. I don't think you'll get it right across the line, though, Bruce.
No, they have lines in netball, Scotty, and they've been playing that for a while. Scotty, Adam Hughes, because he didn't play today, did he?
No, Sydney Power in Brisbane he played for. He turned out for Jeps Creek in the 2nd Division Amateurs over there in Adelaide, where you are. He's getting $6,000 to do the job. He's pleased with his lifestyle, but what a waste, Brucey.
Scotty, keep punching on that note. Good on you, mate. Well, he might be a waste. Joel Smith looks like he's now making the most of his second go at Hawthorn. He was our Mitsubishi player of the opening round.
Mitsubishi Player of the Year. Hawthorn's Joel Smith is the Mitsubishi Motors Player of the Week for round 1. After adding some much-needed muscle power over summer, this strapping young player was instrumental in the Hawks' thrilling win over Collingwood at the MCG. He finished the match with 21 disposals, including 5 marks. None more important than this grab, taken in the dying seconds of the match.
Magnificent solo performance by Smith.
Secretary of the Jeps Creek Football Club has just rung up and told Scotty it wasn't us, it's Jeps Cross, not Jeps Creek. Well, we'll take a break and we'll be back with the second half right after this.
The restaurants of Adelaide, just 8 kilometres away from the spacious blocks of Northgate. Northgate, the dream just got closer.
At Rockers, with double the range down to half the price, it's easy to get your car ready for the Easter long weekend.
Change your oil with 5 litres of Mobil Supermotor oil, only $12.50.
The bargains just keep coming.
Export degreaser, $2 a can or 4 for $7.50.
Now that's low.
Pump up the volume with a Pro Sound CD tuner, just $159.
Check out the Rockers Easter sale catalogue, and from all of us at Rockers, drive very carefully this Easter.
Check the catalogue out now.
Lion gets around him easily and kicks to Lion. Lion marks and gives it off to the running Lion. He spotted Lion on the lead. Lion! Whether you're a fan or fanatic, get into AFL headquarters at Kmart, the biggest seller of official AFL gear. Why do you retire?
Looking to refinance your home loan? Then call Great Southern Loan, the oldest securitised home lender in Australia. Does your bank offer you a free redraw facility with a minimum of only $50, free rate fixing, a loan free of all monthly fees, great service, at a rate as good as this? Be converted and call Great Southern Loan to ask about our other free features on 1300 66 5522.
The leisure spots of Adelaide, just 8 kilometres away from the beautiful environment of Northgate. Northgate, the dream just got closer.
Nearest 7 safe, thanks, mate.
Just make it $1, sunshine.
Got a lot of jobs to do this Easter? Then get into Mitre 10 and save with 6-litre accent acrylic low sheen or satin $47.95 or a 1.8 metre galvanised steel step ladder $45.
Welcome back after half-time here. Both the teams out there. The Crows trail by 35 points. Not sure how many Crows supporters would want this one on video, but I reckon the Demons back home might. But there's the number, name a game, 1800 035 665. Every game, every team, every week for name a game. Well, what do you reckon, King? A bit depressing at half-time from Adelaide's point of view. Melbourne going great guns.
Look, there's no question the Melbourne supporters who are watching back in Melbourne will be very, very satisfied with what they've seen so far. from the Crows' point of view, it's been a very dismal performance in the first half of the footy match. They've been beaten around the packs. That the Melbourne defence is far too strong. Their forwards are alert, capitalising on a lot of opportunities that are coming in, and they've just outplayed the Crows easily at this stage of the game. I don't think the Crows can turn it around. I just don't think they've got enough good players. I think the Melbourne boys are clearly on top, and I think they'll just forge ahead further.
Thanks for that, Curls.
I'm crying.
So what you're saying, Curls, you're building up the expectation.
Exactly right.
Look, it's not... Adelaide's been into the forward 50 more times than Melbourne, would you believe? 29 times to 26. It's their efficiency and their structure in the forward line, and actually they've gone pretty much back to what they started with Robber and Perry across half forward, Welsh in the goal square.
Well, let's see what happens in the opening stages of this third quarter. You reckon they'd come out very determined, Adelaide? Edwards has kicked, Perry's marked it. The one thing that can get a team going is a couple of very early goals, isn't it, at the start of a quarter. And this is a pretty big kick for Perry.
Well, it breaks your heart when you do that effort and you look to have a chance if you don't kick it, but Sarge Perry can hold his head up. He just lays it all on the line. He just knows the one way, straight ahead, full speed, gives you a great contest.
Kicking into a very strong... Well, the bruise has picked up a bit, and he's kicking right into the teeth of it.
Well, a little testing then, Curls.
Yes, it's a long way.
50 out. Not going to make it. Rodram there, and also Collins. Prosciutto did win the toss, didn't he? I mean, it looked as if he did, and he went to that end.
Yes, he went to the way the wind was blowing this afternoon, or just before the game started. But Jared called it. He said, just as they were going to toss, the wind swung around.
Yep.
He's still in the back pocket too, Prosciutto.
So I wonder if he's made a blue at the start by going into the breeze, as it's turned out. Phoebe wide. Nicholson brings it down. And then Bickley tries to break through. McLeod, they need some magic, the Crows. Goodwin to the pocket, under pressure. Back there, Ward. It's got a bit of time and then bangs it away. And that's a terrific result because he had no one to kick it to, and he found the line.
Yes, a couple of Adelaide defenders have paid the price. Matty Shearer and Andrew Crowell are actually on the bench.
See, Walsh is a bit tight here. He's a bit sore.
He's holding his tummy, I think.
He's a tough nut, but trainer to go out to him. Clark lays it down. Uze, Shirley, Goodwin, up and under, half forward. Bickley working, trying to get a free kick off Phoebe, and I think he's won it in the end.
Yes, Mark Bickley's been moved to half forward for the start of this third quarter.
Half back.
Half forward.
He's had a reasonable first half, and Welsh has got it. So Welsh, who had 4 or 5 shots for goal in the opening term, at this end, now he is certainly within range, about 30 metres out. They've just they've got to convert all of these now, don't they? Every one of them from this position.
Well, I think to have any reason, well, have any chance of winning, they'd have to outscore Melbourne by about 4 goals to 1 this quarter.
Welsh kicks and gets a goal.
At these prices, don't miss being a part of the action at Repco.
Auto Air, 2.5 horsepower home mechanic air compressor, $199. Miko, 240-volt DIY battery charger, won't be beaten, only $17.95. Sesame Street, new Elmo and Cookie Monster backseat buddies, $32.95 each. Trico, premium quality metal back wiper refills for all passenger cars, $9.95 a pair.
At Repco, we know what it is, we know where it goes.
Inside 5 goals now, 4-8 to 9-6. Crowd getting involved. Can Adelaide produce a quarter here to bring them right back into it? They'll need to win the centre breaks. They did have the better of them in the first half. Statistically, though, the Melbourne midfield were very impressive.
Free kick there. Adam Uzo just coming in pretty harshly and took him high. Yeah, Laddams.
So Laddams goes long, Rodram, Perry, and no one goes for it at all in the end except Nicholson on his own. Wide to White and half-back, straightens it up. Sloppy kick, actually. Missed by McDonald. Clark, Laddams, free kick, Crows.
Gee whiz.
That Bickley looking around.
He's saying, what about it, Ub?
Well, in the end, it does come to the Crows, after it looked like Bickley should have got it. Wide. Shirley goes to Bode. Bode to centre half forward. Very front spot. Stengline. Not a bad kick for goal in Sydney the other day, but he just dropped it all wrong. Didn't get the angle and misses the lot.
It's quite breezy, the grass here, boys. They've had a bit of rain at half-time.
First 5 minutes of the first quarter was pretty impressive. And so far, the Crows, the biggest change they've made is in their attitude, and they've come out pretty pumped up in the first couple of minutes of this quarter. But often it can be just a facade, and it's whether or not you can maintain it for the entire quarter, not just the first few minutes.
Stengline to Goodwin to fall forward. And McLeod lurking, built it away from behind.
Yes, but it's good to see Endeavour. Losses aren't easy to cop, but if you cop it when they've expended maximum Endeavour, it's probably not so bad, because you know it will come good.
Phoebe to Walsh, to Brown. So Brown to centre wing, to Woden. There's some space here. Woden centering kick to White. Gee, Melbourne have brought it down the ground really well here. White slows it down a bit and then pushes to half forward. Robertson, good mark on Hart. A terrific attack and strong mark. And then Robertson's kick to centre half forward. Gee, that's a wonderful build-up to Williams.
Great passage of play, wasn't it? Finishing, as you said, Bruce, with the youngster. But there was 4 or 5 kicks in that passage that all required terrific marks, and they were successful, and the kicks were spot on as well.
Yeah, he played some games up forward for Sandringham last year, Luke Williams, after a pretty disappointing year, I guess.
Pretty hard team to break into last year, the Demons, late in the year, and he's missed it for a behind. He came in tonight from Brad Green, if you just joined us. It was a late withdrawal. Hart started on the interchange, only came onto the ground halfway through the second quarter, came on for Robram and went forward. He just bangs it out, wanting Stevens or Clark. Laddams has had a lot of the footy, hasn't really hurt anyone with it, but he has got it at least. Bat McDonald, well played, really well played. He took a couple on and found some space and got to Brown, who's having the match of his life, I would think. Runs his full measure and then goes long to Bruce. Ball at the back. Gallagher's back there for the Crows. He's come onto the ground since half-time. Ragoni's little handball away. Now, Uze's normally pretty clever in this situation, but nothing happening there. Out of bounds on the full.
Yes, Bruce. Gallagher's gone back into the back pocket on young Luke Williams. And Ben Hart's picked up Russell Robertson there. And it's Mark Prosciutto is in the back pocket on Guy Ragoni, or was at the start of the quarter.
Hart. Short to McGregor. Untidy, but okay, because no real pressure. Stevens and Neats. We'll talk about Neat. That was Woden to Ragoni. And then Ragoni goes wide and long with a probing kick to Williams. Gallagher getting back. Robertson with a lot of strength there, and a boundary throw in.
That was a bit late. The interchange for Melbourne this quarter is Pitt, Ingerson, Beams and Jolly.
So Ingerson there, because just not the right matchup for him tonight, I wonder?
I'm not sure. I watched him in the first quarter, Bruce. He didn't seem to be going 100%, but now as he's running along the boundary, he seems to be weaving in and out and seems to be moving quite freely, but he looked restricted on one or two of his attacks at the ball in the first quarter. He's actually laughing to the crowd if we got a shot of him running around the boundary, so they must be giving a bit of flack there.
McGregor down. Robertson's handball out wide. Neats and Stevens. Stevens has been pretty good. To Ben Hart. Ben Hart quickly onto the boot. Out wide. Woden and Clark. Boundary throw in.
Interchange for Adelaide at this stage are 1 Crowell, 5 is Scher, 35 is Biglands, and 14 is Skipworth.
Thanks, Neil. We did get a shot at Anthony Egerton, who's
he was having a real byplay with someone in the a real piece of byplay with someone in the crowd.
His relatives are probably here tonight, so he might be having a chat. Edwards back to Bickley. Bickley quickly onto the boot. Perry and Gergich. Gergich.
Too easy.
Yep. You took the words out of my mouth, Cornsey.
Well, it's hard. He got forced under the ball. The ball carried and couldn't get back, and it was an easy mark to Brent in the end.
Stephen Pitt's come on for his first run, and David Swartz is having a rest.
He looks a bit sore, Swartzy.
Too long with the Duze, so Bickley's free kick, holding the ball. It's at half, almost up to centre wing, Bickley. Bit up and under, gets about 45 metres. They all got underneath it. Smart tries to build it forward. Ward, who's done a good job on McLeod and a boundary throw-in.
Melbourne have just been able to soak up the intensity of Adelaide's opening in the second half. They seem just to have steadied a little bit now. It's Crow coming back on, Bruce.
So Crow on for the Crows. Bickley can't get hold of it. Woden over him. In fact, it's not Bickley. It's just off to the side.
It's the sort of night with that wind blowing across the ground that you'd expect that part of the ground to be the dead flank.
And Shirley with Woden. They're in at it again. Well, Curls warned us it'll be over there for most of the night. It's just an uninspiring contest at the moment, isn't it? Wanting something to happen. Bickley in the right spot at the right time from Laddams. And goes long, wants Welsh one out against Collins. Collins front spot, Welsh works to the front. Play on call, Walsh gets in there quickly, ball up.
It's a great contest between these two. I mean, neither are giving an inch, and Matty Walsh doing everything he can to get to the front of the pack, but not quite enough support when the ball comes off hands.
Well, he's not a big forward to handle either, no. Graham, is he? You can match him up with a 6-footer.
He's an opportunist forward more than anything.
Perry tapping down, McLeod. Back to Laddams. Laddams has kicked to the goal square. Edwards is a bit of a Spring Hill Jack, but Brown having a terrific night. Stood his ground really well. And now McDonald sweeps away to Walsh.
McDonald's been pretty important too since midway through that first quarter.
Walsh's wide kick. Neats brings it back in towards the corridor. That was Pitt. Back to Leoncelli. Leoncelli grubbing along the ground. Stenglein to Hart, to Stevens at half-back. Now, Crow short along the wing here. Stevens is going to go even shorter to Ben Hart. Starting to play himself into the game, isn't he? As he kicks towards Robert. Good kick, got him.
And a professional scrag there too by Nicholson, just to pull him down to the ground. This is the bloke they need to get into the game. He's only had just 12 possessions. No point having him sitting up around the goal square if the ball's not getting there.
Well, that's the Crows' best passage of play for a long time. Hart to Robin, to McLeod, to Edwards, to Bode.
Yes, it's by the Cape, Bruce, but Matty Bode ran so strongly to make that opportunity. He ran from the wing as the ball was coming down. You might get a... Yeah, well, you don't really see. You see where he ended up. He had chased Walsh out of the forward line and had to run back strongly.
We may well have a crack in his right wrist, Matthew Bode, but fortunately for him, he drops the ball with his left hand. And he's got to be a big chance to kick this, despite the difficulties.
We're right behind him. It's a good kick, he's got it. They're coming back here.
Just a sniff.
Well, McLeod was involved in that last goal, and importantly, he's been pushed into the centre. If you're not getting score on the board, you've got to do something about getting it forward and just throw the mix around, and McLeod back in the centre. Let's see how long the Crows can sustain their drive forward.
And it was his kick out of the centre there that got them forward a bit. Rigoni to Clark, to Stenglein. Can Edwards get the right bounce?
Need to knock it over there.
Gee, McDonald has been good. Last man standing there, really, wasn't he? Neats trying to get back. Terrific play. He pushes to Uze, and Uze laconically kicks and kicks a goal.
At Mitsubishi, we're celebrating 20 years of Australia. So, if you want great deals across our entire range, you got it. If you want a 5-year, 160,000-kilometre warranty, you got it. If you want 3-year free regular servicing, you got it. And 3-year free roadside assistance, you got it. The Mitsubishi 20th anniversary sale. Hurry, ends April 18.
What do you reckon? Was it touched before the line?
It was touched before the line, but Jared maintains that shot is inconclusive. But
well, it did look as if it missed the first hand and hit the second hand. Okay. We'll have another look, Quilty, to satisfy.
Rain heavy now. Goodwin to fall forward. Collins front spot. Welsh at the back. Got a bit of it. Bode almost off the ground. Welsh in hard. And a ball up. But Uze's goal does hurt the Crows.
Leon Shelley off for Melbourne.
It's certainly conclusive for the 30,000 supporters here, Quilty.
But Adelaide,
here we go again. Does it hit the first hand?
Does it? There. Comes off his forearm, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a tough one.
One flag.
We didn't have to ask you, girls.
Do we have a shot from behind the goals? Did the AFL insist on that?
Haven't you been watching this telecast tonight? 39-67. So back to about a 5-goal game.
Well, I can see the cameraman in the stand behind the goals.
We've got cameras everywhere, Cornsey. So 10-7-5-9. Just steadied up there, that goal. Now can McLeod do it at the other end? He does. Well, he's the man you pinpointed, Jared, about 5 minutes ago. He's the key, you reckon, and keeps the Crows in again at 6-9 to 10-7.
Well, he is by far the best Crows player. He's their match winner, and he's their inspiration, you would think. And he can do what few people in the competition can do. In fact, he can do things that no one else in the competition can do. He's just got to get enough ball in his hand, Cornsey, to be able to weave the magic.
Well, importantly, Adelaide's spirits have risen. They came out firing at the start of this quarter, and they haven't dropped their intensity, so they still rate themselves a chance.
Clark and White. Here's McLeod. Ward. McLeod again.
Unbelievable.
Goodwin. Phoebe did well, pushing forward to Rigoni. Rigoni out wide. I reckon the next goal pretty important in this match because Adelaide have made a move. They have reduced the margin from 35 points to 22. Now here's another angle. Now was it a clean touch? It's a second hand, I think, isn't it?
Definitely the first bloke misses it.
Yep, I think you're right. I think the goal umpire might be right after all of that.
I think you are right. I hate to say it. I think the first hand misses it.
So
it shouldn't be that way because the crowd should be right.
That's right.
The goal umpire should be wrong, but
you're a big man to admit it, Cornsey.
Two flags. Two flags.
What do you reckon, Curls? Any chance the Crows from here?
Well, if they can keep this pressure, keep applying this pressure, yeah, there is a little sniff.
Edwards to centre wing. Phoebe just held on to Clark's handball, went straight to the opposition in Uze. Then he gets back and manhandles Uze. Melbourne win it. Pushing forward, Brown. Robertson goes to ground. Ben Hart, little handball. Bickley working hard to Gallagher. Gallagher bangs away. Oh, McLeod. The contest was terrific, and they're paying him a free kick here.
He just put him down in the contest.
The key is now to really get Rashudo into the game. He's their second best player. He is another one that can kick big goals and kick inspirational goals.
Disappointing kick, Andrew McLeod, who is a great kick. Just kicked to the wrong side of the contest.
Nicholson to White. White stops and props, and then rather untidily kicks to centre half forward. Neeks makes a contest. Running hard Ward with McLeod.
He's lifted. They need Smart to lift. We haven't seen any of his driving runs into attack.
Yeah, unfortunately, those Adelaide half-back line players were driven back into their shell by that second quarter of Melbourne.
Leon Chilly on for Woden.
Yeah, that's actually given Adelaide the best matchup because that brings Shirley to tag Leon Chilly, who is the dangerous player.
Neats high ball to full forward. Oh, it was hit at the back. Rashudo in the front, boundary throw in.
So Adelaide persisting with Shirley on Woden when it was obvious that Leon Chilly was the player who's done the most damage.
Gee, Rashudo, it is a strange situation. Playing deep in defence. Bickley, he's had a pretty good game. Kicks into the centre. Beat a couple, was a hard ball. Crowd there. Well done. Really well done to Clark. Takes a long time to get his kick, but he does get it away. Robin versus Nicholson. A good contest. Oh, Leon Chilly was just terrific there to get involved. May win it back, but he's against the tide. He wants Walsh for support. Just overran it. Goes to the line, finds it.
There's definitely a little more urgency in the crowd. There's a little more just stress, panic amongst the Melbourne boys there. Not quite as relaxed they were early.
And Matthew Robin playing the true centre-half forward position in this quarter, Curls. It's a bit more predictable about where the ball is going to go.
Clark got to the back. Rashudo does look as if he's on the ball. Bickley going with a handball. While she's in trouble, he scooped it back between his legs. Good tackle, Bo. Oh, Uze was terrific. Paved the way for McDonald. He's got a man in the centre. It was a good chase by Laddams, but the Demons are still a chance. The Crows have lifted. They're hassling a lot more. They're playing with a lot of spirit. Can they play with efficiency? And some clean footy that we haven't seen. Stenglein to fall forward. The belt at the back. McLeod, can he weave some magic? He can't quite. It deserved a goal. He read it beautifully.
Well, direct, positive football. Set up with a great chase by Chris Laddams. Just ran down his Melbourne opponent.
That would have made a huge difference in the context of this match, you'd think, wouldn't you?
Well, 6 minutes to go in this quarter. You suspect they've got to get another goal or two closer if they're going to make a genuine challenge in the last quarter. But another goal, and maybe it'll come from this bloke's boot now, and the crowd will start to believe they can win, and that'll be worth a goal or two in itself.
It's got Laddams wide.
I think I'd rather Matthew Robin.
You are such a pessimist, Cornsey. Give the kid a chance. He's just a young bloke. He may be able to
he's been great today, but I've made the point before, he doesn't have great penetration in his kick. Now, I hope.
Last time you told us that he kicked... Last time you told... There's a blood rule. Last time you told us that he kicked 4 goals.
Well, I hope it happens tonight. Not that I'm...
Rashudo off the blood rule.
Rashudo's off of the blood rule, Kersey.
Yes. And this consistent drizzle may just help Melbourne a little bit to tighten up.
Bickley's had a bit of quarter too, hasn't he?
Yeah, half-forward flank, he's been great. He's just given some bite across there. But I think Adelaide's straightened up. They've been good around the ball. They've used it quickly.
Bottom line is they've, to a man, had a far better go than they had in the second term, where they just dropped right off.
What does that say?
Well, can Laddams kick the goal? It's a big kick. Gets close to the man on his mark. It's a good kick. It's a good kick, Cornsey. It's gone all the way.
In the new series of Cold Feet.
One of these couples will split. Can you guess who? One woman will give birth to twins. Can you guess who? One of them will find a new lover. You'll never guess who.
It can sometimes put a smile on your face. It can sometimes bring a tear to your eye. And it will always entertain.
I hope you haven't got skid marks on that sofa.
I'm sure that mark was there before.
The 2001 series return of Cold Feet, soon on 7.
And Swartz getting ready to come back on.
So we're getting Swartz
back
getting
on. Ready to come back on.
Thanks, Curl. Swartz about to come back on. Gee, suddenly that scoreboard looks a bit different, doesn't it? Same number of scoring shots. The Crows do get one more before three-quarter time. You'd reckon there could be a grandstand finish. Liam Chile, probably best man on the ground in the opening half. Bangs long to half forward. Squirting in front.
Holding umpire.
McGregor had hold of him for a while, didn't he?
Yeah, that was...
Well, the umpire must have blindness down there. He must be looking into the lights. Because he clearly had him by the jump.
You'll see it here. Just holding.
So it's at 50 for the Demons.
I don't know if he retarded him, though, did he?
He definitely had hold of the jumper, though, Curls. And you can't do it. They're supposed to put these umpires in these positions to see that.
Crowd was good there. Across the boot of Liam Chile.
Gee, Adelaide have momentum, and they've got a bit of spirit behind them at the moment. Have they got the skill to capitalise on it?
I think the Melbourne bench will be desperately hoping for the next goal.
Well, they've got it in the right spot, and they've got some good players around the ball. Just need to get it out the back.
Goodwin brought down in the tackle.
There it is.
Well played, Liam Chile. To Neitz, the captain can kick it. He hooks it.
Geez, he's been sharp today, Liancelli. He's made it look as if it's dry weather. That pick up and give to Neitz was first class.
Yeah, I think he started the season well, Jared. His form last week against Richmond was excellent as well.
Rashudo ready again.
So where does he run to, Rashudo, when he's about to come back on? Deep into this quarter.
Where the ball is.
Well, Hayden Skipworth is going to come off, and he's in the half-back line at the moment.
Hart's long ball out wide. Robertson read it best and then kicks to centre half forward. Now Smart, who's had an average old night, just searching for it. Leoncelli still with Leoncelli. Terrific tackle, Ben Hart. Is it holding the ball? No. Yes, it is. It's coming back now.
It spilled out in the tackle, which was a bit unfortunate, but
Hart's been solid too in this quarter, hasn't he, down back? It's a free kick to Hart. It was a little throwaway. So Hart's chipped to Smart. I think Gerard's right, though. I reckon the Crows, they just need one more, don't they, to really put the acid on the Demons at three-quarter time. And of course, one the other way.
They're starting to wobble a bit, Bruce.
Decisive.
The skills.
Rigoni. Smart couldn't take the mark. Robertson held up. Hart misses the body. Edwards. Left foot. Hurriedly left foot. Phoebe and Bickley. I've liked Bickley's quarter. He's had 7 possessions. Back to Uze, wrong side, but okay the kick. Leoncelli, the danger man, runs his full measure. Left foot to centre half forward's a beauty. White doesn't mark it. Down to Neitz. Bangs forward. Robertson. Well, they're good players, are just standing up when they need them. Leoncelli and Robertson.
Robertson's been tremendous. I guess you've seen him play where, as a half-forward flanker, he hasn't been able to capitalise on his opportunities, but tonight he just played as though somebody's laid it on the line to him.
Pressure kick, this one. It looks simple, but there's a lot at stake. They can...
Wet ball.
Wet ball.
Rain.
Pressure, and the game is at on such a precipice now. This goal could just
now he's being negative.
I'm just outlining the facts, Quincy. Did it well.
No worries.
Got it through for his third.
Meet the FBI agent married to her job.
This is a really big day for me. Nobody better spoil it.
And the cop.
Get out of my way!
Who might be her perfect match. Sunday, they're teaming up to nail the world's richest thief.
I would never sell out my clients, but talk fast, I'll listen.
Lithgow, Sutherland, Carrera.
How dare you?
Bringing down the mob could be dangerous. Surviving each other will be murder. Hollow Point premieres Sunday 8:30 on 7.
Back to 22 points. It was 35 at half-time. The Crows got it down to 16. So these next 2 or 3 minutes could shape the outcome of the contest.
Clark off.
Uze's kick to full forward. Neitz and Stevens. Stevens done well back there. Crow to Gallagher. Gallagher's left foot wide. McLeod searching. He's had a terrific quarter. He's had 8 possessions prior to this. I think 9 actually. Make it 10 now. Kick to Bickley, who's also been the one that's been getting hold of it a lot. Back to McLeod. In trouble. Poor handball. Overdid it. Too cute. And the Demons come forward through Ward. Robertson front spot. Crowd all over him at the back. Down to the ground. Hard away. Can he find the line? Chasing hard. Brown. Still in. Edwards tries to put some pressure on. Good kick, Brown to Schwartz, and finds him.
It's a cruel game. Like Mark Bickley and Andrew McLeod with the ball. You trust them to do the right thing. Turn it over.
Schwartz to McDonald. Been a very good player. The full forward. Smart flying at the back. Read well by White. Awkward looking kick, and he misses. Gee, he's made a couple of errors, hasn't he, in the last 2 minutes?
Well, it was a brilliant pickup, but he did it so well. He had a couple of extra paces that he could have put in to get onto his right foot.
Well loaded, ready to come back on.
No one between he and the goal. That just about would have snuffed it out, you reckon, wouldn't you?
It's a vital miss, actually. It just keeps Adelaide with some hope and some heart.
Speaking of which, he boots the ball in. Goodwin, rather Bickley, read well. Bangs wide. Nicholson. It's a poor kick to the forward line then, and Nicholson goes back. They're okay at the moment. Misses there. The Walsh was clever. Rigoni, well done, Crows. Robin's kick, and he find a target. An important ball here. Edwards, Welsh gets in his road. Edwards goes forward. He's searching for a free kick. Phoebe over him. And then Melbourne want the line. They won't get it. Welsh has got it from the pocket. Tries a miracle goal and misses. He had a couple in the centre.
Yes, they're letting him know.
Top of the square.
But both those Crows players were pretty well matched. They had opponents alongside them. Chris Adams and Matty Boda both saying we were there.
But the initial error was when he should have paved the way for Tyson to come through. That was a set goal. Simple walk-up start, but That was just inexperience.
White's big leap. Ball comes back to centre half forward. Well played by Gergic. To Nicholson, to Uze. He's got White short and he uses him. So White at centre wing. Biglan's to try and run him down. Probing kick to the forward line. Front spot Bruce. Smart at the back. Gee, in well was Williams there. And then Schwartz. Big body. Stevens onto him. Smart. Robertson searching. Tucks it in. Gets it back to Williams.
Throw.
Well,
What's
deemed a throw against Robertson.
No, it's a push. Sorry, Bruce.
It's a free kick to Robertson for push. Gee, that's a big call, isn't it?
Gee, I thought initially the umpire appeared to signal a throw, but he's obviously seen something in that pack that. Let's have another look at it. There's Robertson scrambling after it. Someone's going to go over him here, I reckon. Yeah.
Ken McGregor.
Well, he straddled him.
For a fourth goal. Misses, I think.
Justice prevails, I think, on that occasion, Bruce.
Well, you tried to talk him out of the last one, you two, but just a couple of minutes late, yeah, it didn't look much in it, did it? But, well, Melbourne have had two pretty good chances, haven't they, to put this game away?
Here it is again. Now, does he fall on him or does he fall on his hands and knees?
Well, he wasn't really interfering with him at all, was he?
No, I think it was common sense would have said play on.
Had no real impact on what was happening in the game. Hart banging long. The Demons have got numbers. Look away, sort of handball there from Stevens. Rasciuto. How can they get him into the game?
Yes. Matthew Clark has had a very good game, and just the last 10 minutes when he's been resting, he sensed the momentum has shifted back to Melbourne a bit.
And the problem is that Jeff White's athleticism has been favoured because the umpire is now throwing the ball in the air, which means it's a certainty, and the person with the biggest leap is generally going to win it.
So the Crows kicked 4 goals to 2. Huge quarters from Bickley and McLeod, but Rasciuto not one kick or handball in that third term. And they got within 16. Melbourne lead by 23. It's a comfortable lead, but had White and Robertson converted late, I think they would have put Adelaide out of business. It is pouring at the moment. And
it's had McLeod converted and Welsh converted.
Yeah, fair enough. Just thinking very late in the quarter, though, in the last 2 minutes. So here it is, 53-76.
Main Logistics, Australia's most diverse logistics and transport group, presents the Main Sports Report.
Good evening. Hope you're enjoying the football. In AFL matches this afternoon, the Western Bulldogs were far too good for Richmond, finishing 7 goals in front. But we'll hear more after Tiger Matthew Knights was king hit early in the game. At Optus, Carlton had no answers for Hawthorn, a 26-point win for the Hawks. In the Davis Cup, it's 1-1 after Pat Rafter retired hurt and Leighton Hewitt won in the singles. The doubles is later on tonight, right here on 7.
At Main Logistics, we aim to tailor integrated transport and warehouse solutions to make e-commerce more deliverable, to move more goods, more efficiently, more reliably, at less cost. As Australia's most diverse logistics and transport group, we are committed to linking the best minds with the best technologies to provide the very best business solutions imaginable.
That's the main difference.
Lyon gets around him easily and kicks to Lyon. Lyon marks and gives it off to the running Lyon. He spotted Lyon on the lead. Lyon! Whether you're a fan or fanatic, get into AFL headquarters at Kmart, the biggest seller of official AFL gear. Why do you retire?
The next quarterly instalment activity statements have now been sent out by the tax office. And if you lodge a quarterly IAS, you've now got a choice. You can, of course, carry on completing your IAS as you have been. But now you can choose a simpler and easier way. The tax office will calculate your quarterly pay-as-you-go instalment for you. You return the form and payment each quarter. Then, at the end of the year, you do an annual income tax return. You'll either get a refund or pay the difference. A letter and booklet explaining the full details are being sent to you, your tax agent or accountant. Copies of the booklet will also be available soon at most newsagents and banks. For more information about completing your IAS, call the tax office on 13 24 78 or visit the website.
Authorised by the Commonwealth Government, Canberra.
Tommy G and Stan Watts for the TAB.
Tommy, Stan, what are we doing?
Ah, well, you've got to think like a horse to pick a winner, Stan.
Yeah, but do you have to smell like one too?
Hey!
Serious Racing returns this autumn.
To create exceptional performance. Design, technology. Kumo.
Tile Supplies.
Tile Supplies. Surprised?
Tile Supplies. What a surprise.
45 The Parade, Norwood.
The loose ball bounces into the middle. The pack converges over the footy. Oh, crunching tackle, and it's on. They're all getting stuck into it now, and the crowd's loving it.
Golden draft, thanks.
At Mitre 10, our Easter prices have come crashing down. With a halogen light with motion sensor only $35 or a Bosch line trimmer just $59.95.
Sevens Football Telecast, proudly brought to you by West End Draft. West End, your thirst. McDonald's, mac your day. And Mitsubishi Motors.
Three-quarter time at Footy Park, and Adelaide edged a bit closer, didn't they? It's 7-11 to 11-10. They got within 16 points late in the quarter, and Melbourne now by 23. The goal scorers, Welsh a couple for the Crows, and then singles. Robertson's been outstanding. Schwartz and Bruce a couple for the Demons.
The AFL, in association with its premier partner, Carlton and United, proudly presents the 2001 Premiership season.
Colonial tonight, Collingwood and Fremantle. We've been showing you scores and highlights. We do have a final score. There's replays coming up. If you don't want to know, don't look now. Well, Neil Curley said the Crows needed 4 goals to 1 in that quarter to have a chance. They got 4-2, Curls. Is it 1 too many, do you think?
There's been a lot of rain, not heavy rain, but persistent rain the last, say, 15, 20 minutes, Bruce. Conditions are very slippery down here, so that's going to favour the side that is Melbourne, because they're three and a bit goals ahead. I think if Melbourne can kick 2 goals this quarter, they'll be pretty safe, because I can't see the Crows getting any more than, say, 3 or 4. But at least the Crows have come back and put some spirit into their game, and we do have a real football match now. And if the Crows can break away and get the first couple, well, then the excitement will start, but you still have to favour Melbourne at this stage.
Fair call. Official attendance tonight, 35,653, and they will be roaring if the home team can get that opening goal. Gallagher at centre-half back, can't get his boot to a terrific tackling by the Demons as they go towards full forward, and Smart, who hasn't had much of it, has taken the mark. Pushes wide to Edwards. So how can they conjure up a 5 or 6 goal quarter here, the Crows? Kicks into the centre. Good mark, Robin.
As Matthew Roberts playing true centre-half forward, Andrew Crowell has been moved into the forward line.
So Rashudo's first touch since half-time. Just a little shove there on Clark. Chance for McLeod. Good tackle, Ward. Kick away. Collins belts it away towards the line. Crows have got numbers. Can Gallagher get a handball away? Terrific tackle by Collins. Well played, the Demons. Walsh mopping up after he got it from Luke Williams and gets it to McDonald. McDonald's kick only as far as Edwards. This first goal is important, isn't it?
Yes, and Adelaide threatening as they did at the start of just about every quarter.
Smart to centre-half forward. Rashudo still in the full-back line. Tackle on Brown, brought him to ground. Bode searches for it. It is a slippery ball to win out. And you'd reckon there's going to be a lot of congestion in this last term. Ball up.
Gee, the centre square breaks are interesting, boys. Adelaide's had twice as many as Melbourne. Adelaide broken from the centre, or taken the ball from the centre 13 times to Melbourne 6.
Had that same advantage last week against the Swans, particularly in the first half. But Mark Rashudo in that back pocket, he's just got to get near the footy, surely. Unless he's got an injury.
Well, if he's got an injury, he's not going to be out there, is he, when he's got fit players? Of course, the longer you're out of the action, Yeah, the less confident and assured you are with your movement at it. Didn't get a touch in the last quarter. And then when you do go at the ball, you're a little bit hesitant for fear of making mistakes. Adelaide's best opportunity is to get its best players around the ball.
I mean, Guy Rigoni's had 14 possessions, and with due respect to Guy Rigoni,
What is the umpire doing?
Neil Danaher would be absolutely rapt that he's got Mark Rasciuto on the last line of defence.
So the umpire asking Leoncelli and Goodwin to get away, I think, particularly Leoncelli by the look of it. Clark in low. It's a real battle here. Ward off the ground. With him was Brown. Still with Ward. Good handball. He found some space and some time for Brown. Nathan's Brown kick to Bruce. Bruce near the line. Brings it back in. He back to Luke Williams, who's done a bit, hasn't he? Quickly to Smart. To Gallagher. Well, that's disappointing. Unfortunately, Gallagher under the pump, but just unable to break clear and do anything with it. And now Melbourne could really hurt the Crows. Williams wide, goes to the pocket. Neats there. Stevens had a good match.
Oh, nice touch.
Edwards, McGregor. Laddams had to kick in a hurry. McGregor's handball put him under the gun. Might have been a bit fortunate the Laddams kick and got bowed. Now he's got Goodwin all on his own here. It's not a great kick. Goodwin had to make the contest with White.
Did well.
It did very well. And his second and third effort was good. The handball coming out. Can McLeod get through? White did very well to give Phoebe the run of it. Melbourne have got the numbers. They didn't get there. Edwards has had a lot of it early in this last quarter. Wide to Bode. Waited for it. Phoebe comes on and takes it away. And then goes out wide to Brown. Bode running hard. Brown inboard. Leoncelli. Demons going up and down in the one spot a bit too at the moment. Walsh. All these bits of play important just to see if Adelaide can hold them up. Gallagher. Walsh's look away handball good. Luke Williams' handball all wide. Wide to Brown. Brown to full forward or centre half forward. Cameron Bruce had bounced away. Uze searches for it. Back to Nathan Brown, who's had a terrific match. Goes for goal and just misses.
This game is just begging for somebody to take it by the scruff of the neck and win it.
Fellas, interchange for Melbourne. Pitt, Beams, Ingerson, Jolly.
So still Ingerson out there and the interchange, or sitting it down in his 150th.
Bode coming off.
Bode off for Skipworth. Bickley gets it. Just wobbles it to half forward. Goodwin, hands and knees. Phoebe. Crowd did well not to give a free kick away. Little handball by Gergic. McDonald squeezed out by Woden, but only as far as Ben Hart.
He's added a bit.
He has in that second half. You do wonder why he started on the interchange, don't you? For a quarter and a half.
Yep.
Robert Shirley's kick to centre wing. Goodwin's looked like he might be able to do something in this last quarter.
I think he's been good all day, Bruce. He's really gone at it solidly.
Good kick by Hart. Gives Robin a half a chance here. Nicholson was terrific to bring it forward. And then Robin fell over, and Leoncelli, well done to Walsh. See, they'll be hard to keep out of the votes, a couple of those blokes. Only as far, though, as Goodwin. Now Gallagher's on. Robin's free at centre half forward. Now Skipworth. The kick is a bad one. Robin's good enough, though.
Got him.
Got Edwards.
Got him with a rumour banger.
What was it?
Well, it was a kick on the outside instep. It was a very clever kick.
It was either a fluke or a very, very clever kick. If we could just see this one again. Where's he kicking? Just on the outside of his
clever
boot.
kick.
It's a wormer banger.
He's got tremendous skill, that boy.
He knew what he was doing. He knew where he wanted the ball to go.
Gee, Skipworth's kick was poor going in, wasn't it?
One step. He just had to take 2 steps and drill it. Would have got there in time. This is a big one, though.
Yep. Can Edwards keep the game alive?
Just.
He has.
Doesn't miss.
Ci tengo alla mia macchina, sai, è proprio un amore. E capirai, quindi, mi è venuto quasi un attacco cardiaco quando ha cominciato a fare bang, bang, bang. L'ho portato subito oltre Ciune e il meccanico mi ha detto che si trattava del timing. Hanno fatto la diagnosi, me l'hanno aggiustata e non mi hanno fatto pagare mica tanto, sai. Oltre Ciune, brava gente. I speak my language.
5 possessions for Edwards in the last term so far. Three-goal game. McLeod, well done. Bickley, Clark, it gets out. Ladham's a left footer. Gets some distance to centre half forward. Robin front spot, manhandled. Bruce has gone back there by the look of it. That's Cameron Bruce. Collins. Melbourne are under pressure. Forces away. Crows have got all the numbers here. They're coming off the bench. Ingerson gets involved. That was a good call. Back to Smart. Can he break the tackle? Inboard to Bickley. Bickley's kick looks good off the boot. They didn't quite get there. Taken by Welsh. Terrible kick by Welsh. Out of play.
Oh, there's tremendous play. Anthony Ingerson coming off the bench. Andrew McLeod thought he had a paddock to run into. Running onto an open a ball in an open paddock, and all of a sudden Anthony Ingerson was there. But Mark Bickley, who has been excellent, delivering that ball into the forward line.
Well, Scott Welsh is a likely goal kicker, but you give it to somebody who can kick a long ball, and that'd be Rashudo. There's just no reason why he could be sitting in that back pocket.
McDonald.
If there is, it's got to be some sort of injury. He's carrying a stress injury, and they don't want him to be running.
Gee, Robertson's done a wonderful job out here, outnumbered, but Hart continues to do well. Bangs to fall forward, over the top. Getting back is Brown, and found the line.
Well, I can only imagine they're pretty happy with their midfield matchups.
Put him at full forward there.
Well, the player that's keeping him out of the midfield is Robert Shirley. And Andrew Crowell is at half forward, and probably Andrew Crowell hasn't had a touch in this quarter. That's not a bad swap. Crowell's form and defence has been good. Rashudo forward, Crowell back.
Clark won the tap. McLeod. Clark done pretty well. Clark, White with him. Shirley held on to Woden, pushes him in the back. Gee, he's unlucky there. Robertson, what a great game he's played.
And for all the attack on the ball and the intensity and the momentum going their way, you've got to say that the Demons have just held sway pretty well.
It's been a great performance by Melbourne, really.
Kept Adelaide to 1 goal. We've played 9 minutes of this quarter. And they lead by 3, the Demons. If they can get one on the counter-attack, it would just about finish Adelaide, you'd think. McDonald's high ball. Williams and Gallagher. Skipworth running hard. Ben Hart just searched for it. Laddams tries to put the pressure on Brown. He does. Ball comes out the back. Gallagher's squeezy kick to 50. Can anyone get hold of it? Edwards is becoming important. Goes for goal. It's not a bad kick. Welsh did very well. He did very well indeed. This game's alive.
Well, they're just trying to hold on at the moment. They've got to start thinking about kicking some goals and creating some goals, getting on the counter-attack. Yeah, just about right this one, Dean, as an absolute certainty.
Yes, everyone's hard in their mouth. He's nudged his opponent under the ball.
Got 3 goals, Welsh.
Insure your home and contents with the company you trust. Because life can be tough without your TV.
Got a lot of jobs to do this Easter? Then get into Mitre 10 and save with 6-litre accent acrylic low sheen or satin $47.95 or a 1.8 metre galvanised steel stepladder $45.
Well, Welsh has got 3. It hasn't been a pretty match, to be blunt. It's been hard going at times. The one thing that you reckon might save it is a close finish, and we might get it right now. Conditions are tough, but the Crows have some momentum. They do trail by 2 goals in a low-scoring game.
At the back.
Oh, Rodram Nilly. Can he get it forward? Collins was a good effort. Welsh getting heavily involved. Well done. The ball coming out. I don't know how it came out from the Demons, only as far as McGregor. McGregor's kick finds Rodram. It is the perfect man to have the ball 45 to 50 metres out at this stage of the match.
Well, he has his critics in the crowd, Matthew Rodram. But he will make them eat their words if he can slot this. He's their best option at centre-half forward. He's been at centre-half forward in this last half. They've looked so much better.
Can he kick a second goal and bring the Crows within 6 points? He's missed. So he's kicked 1-2. I'll tell you what, if you're betting now, it's nearly... Well, the Demons may be just favourites, but not much in it. It's almost an even money game now.
Pretty much even money, and that may well prove to be a pretty important point.
The Demons have been coming on strong in every quarter, particularly late.
And I hark back, Curls. Broken record that I might be. The Jeff White missed late. The Russell Robertson missed late. But I guess there's been a lot through the course of the match. But I think that would have snuffed the Crows out at the time.
This is what they have to... to win, they have to prevent that from happening.
McDonald.
Melbourne's got to find a goal, though. They've got to start thinking like attacking rather than just holding on.
They went wide there, didn't they? McDonald to Woden.
Still just under 11 minutes of game time to play. It's going to be, if they just hold on, the Crows will kick a couple.
Clark. White bangs it around the corner. Bruce almost neats at the back. Through the legs. Goodwin. Took a while. He did get his foot to the ball. Edwards probably in the end could have marked it, but he did pretty well to get away from White. Melbourne get it to centre half forward. Neats and Smart and Bruce ball up.
Gee, there's plenty of time for Adelaide. And there's plenty of time for Melbourne to consolidate it, but they've gone back into their shells. As Gerard said, they've got to get back on the front foot.
Goals are tough in these conditions, Graham.
Hart, Ragoni, Neats, good little hands. McDonald, Leoncelli low, Stenglein. It's hard to win. White's kick was smothered. Edwards squeezed it out. McLeod, was that in danger? Yeah. With Ward, it was.
Got a good set up here. The forward line with Swartz in the goal square by himself looks pretty dangerous. They back him in a one-on-one against McGregor.
So here's Ward. It's going to go long. Gets right towards the goals. Gee, McGregor did well because that ball was over the back. Gallagher held up, couldn't get his boot to ball up. Could see that flying over the back, and McGregor just able to get his fist to it.
Good punch.
Actually, it was a good kick for penetration. Now, Crow's coming off.
Sure on.
Sure's going on.
Can Melbourne conjure a goal here? McGregor. Only as far as McDonald. They've set a wall up here, the Demons.
Well, with Neats probably the strongest aerialist on the ground other than White, you'd maybe just bang it into the square, but they're going to the short.
Ball to ground. Bruce. Crows all over him. Rashudo claims him. Ooh. He's got him. The ball.
That's tough. That is tough.
Gee, that's a dreadful play by Rashudo. He's going to get away with it to Edwards, but it just put the Crows under the pump a bit. The kick out wide. McLeod, Ragoni holding the ball.
Now it's the Demons that are going to have to start having a look at their structure, because every man with a Crows jumper on is playing it up to their level of their ability. They've just risen as one.
Goodwin's got it from McLeod. Goes to full forward. Robin Welsh split the pack. Gee, Peter Walsh has played a game, but he's under great pressure here.
It's a good kick in the end.
He's found the line. It's a terrific kick. I think, is it Cameron Bruce off? Yes, and Beams is on.
Yeah, you got him. A great first half, Cameron Bruce.
He sure did, Curls. 9-12 to 11-11. Clark, White did well. Gets it down to Brown. Up and under kick. Can somebody take a mark? Rashudo's in there. Bangs it away. Uze, second go off the ground. Stenglein with a chance. Can he do something constructive? He lines it up. He goes to full forward. Collins, Welsh. Wonderful mark. He could be the match winner.
Well, Gary has shown a lot of faith in him. He's kept him there. He's had plenty of opportunities in the early stages without kicking goals, but all of a sudden he's set to kick 2 in 2 minutes.
Yes, but it's the nature of a forward. Matthew Lloyd didn't kick a goal till the third quarter last night against Port Adelaide, and you have to be patient with forward line players.
Just has to kick it, doesn't he? And he has snuck it in, has he? Or has he missed? I think he might have missed it.
He can't miss them. He cannot miss those goals.
He's kicked 3 goals for Welsh.
Just a bit hesitant on his drop. Bit tentative on his follow through with his leg, and that's the result.
There's a lot of time left, as you can see on the clock.
Yeah, but that breaks your heart.
White's huge leap. Laddams' handball. Bickley at 50. goes for it and blazes and misses everything.
They've only got themselves to blame if they drop this one.
Well, they're getting more and more opportunities. Rigoni, but
Prosciutto's come out on the Leoncelli.
McLeod, Goodwin, banging, banging, banging. Oh, it was going. Well done, Brown.
Well, Melbourne's kickoffs have been good. Adelaide have to be tight. They have to be alert.
Gee, that was close, wasn't it? Good touch in the end. Rigoni in short. Out wide.
That's all they need to do.
So Phoebe to Collins.
Now they need to break.
Collins at half-back. Wide to Walsh.
But Ingerson long.
He's gone that way. At the back. Hart's kicked back into centre wing. Almost a half. Well played, Rigoni. And then delivers. Long kick. Stevens has had the better of Neitz. The ball to the back. Prosciutto had an airy. Off the ground. The Demons push forward with it was Uze. And now Robertson threw it backwards to Leoncelli. And it was deemed a throw. It certainly looked like it.
Gee, you picked that well, Bruce. I couldn't see it.
So Hart to take it. They've let the go on here. Bickley. She's played a terrific second half, Bickley. Skipworth, Rodron, 60 metres out, caresses the kick. Oh, well done, Collins. Welsh a real chance. Welsh a real chance in the pocket. Takes one on. Left foot goes and kicks it. What a finish.
Ooh, listen to this. Cousin Ned says that folks put a crispy chicken breast fillet on a burger.
Well, what do they call that then?
They call it a crispy chicken breast fillet burger.
Well, that's real clever.
Try the great southern taste of McDonald's new crispy chicken breast fillet burger with garden salad and mayonnaise all on a toasted bun.
Where do you get these burgers from?
Some island called G-Day.
Well, yeah, we applauded the Melbourne midfield in the first half, Cornsey, and they were outstanding. But in this last quarter, it's been the likes of Goodwin, who's been sensational. Bickley also with plenty of possessions, and Edwards also. But finally, Mark Prosciutto comes in to see if he can win the game for them.
Goes into the centre square, the captain. Edwards, whose early touches in this quarter, I think, gave the Crows a chance. Wide kick, though. Just underneath it there, Rigoni. Here's Prosciutto. Walsh with him. Smart. Little give for Skipworth. Back to Smart. Into Skipworth. Pushes forward, but in the end, the mark taken back there by Ward.
Yes, they did well to keep it alive, but the kick just not quite enough carry.
Centre wing, Robertson's big fly, Hart at the back, Beams. Hart's been a wonderful player in the second half. Prosciutto to Stenglein. Stenglin's kicked to half forward. Oh, bad error there, just going to ground and bouncing off Scher. Look away handball. It's free kick to the Crows for Goodwin now.
Yeah, the umpire put the mouth of the whistle for the grab off the ball, but he elected to let it go. This one was the square up.
Kick.
Rodron the target. Terrific play at the back there by Ingerson. Still with Rodron. He's been an important player for the Crows. Goes to the pocket. Wonderful kick to Clark.
He's caught play on.
Oh, gee, I thought he had marked it.
It was right up there. It was a free kick, I thought.
Brown to McDonald.
Better get a goal here, the Demons.
Out wide to Beams.
Best opportunities.
They've got a chance now. Schwartz gets it at half forward. They do need a goal. Bangs it to the pocket. Good kick. Terrific lead. Good mark.
That's kicking to the advantage of your forward line player.
Williams it is. And then Williams keeps it low. Smart. Clever mark.
Prosciutto short.
Scott Bickley didn't use the Roo at this stage. So Bickley down low. Not enough on the kick, you would think. Important ball. Gee, White did well. Did very well. And then kicks to Beams. Oh, drops it. Dropped the mark. Gee, Melbourne are in a bit of trouble. If that's symbolic of them, though, the Crows are struggling too. That kick by Stenglein, he was pulled off it in the end, and the mark taken by Schwartz.
Bit of panic out there now.
Both sides, Coos.
Got two teams that are faced with victory here. Let's see how they handle the next few minutes. Phoebe's kick. Inboard. Smart news, ball up.
You'd think about 4 minutes to play, Bruce. About 4 minutes to play, and watch the intensity rise.
Well, the big clock there tells us a little bit less than that. You'd reckon next goal wins, wouldn't you?
Oh, you'd have to say that, yes.
That's Gerard's famous comment from, I think, 1993 here, when the Kangaroos played the Crows. But one more goal either way wins the match, you'd think.
A pretty costly drop chest mark, that one of Matty Clark's up the pocket.
Well, it was
Beams at the other end.
Beams, yeah.
So Melbourne slightly in attack. They haven't scored a goal in this last quarter. Hart, every breakaway important. Beams.
In fact, they've only scored 2 goals in the half.
Back to Goodwin. Getting a lot of it. Walsh has been terrific. Schwartz takes his man on. I tell you what, the Crows were brave there. McGregor searched for it. Bangs forward. Front spot Edwards.
Well done.
Still with Edwards. Misses Skipworth with the handball. Skipworth gets in. Rasciuto banging it to about 40 metres. Robran. Walsh. What a game he's played, but he goes to ground. He wants the line. Is it deliberate? Will the umpire call it?
No. He has to.
Well, in reality, he had nowhere else to go. He just handballed it where his momentum was going. So I think it was a pretty fair call in the finish.
So do I. He was desperate, was young Walsh. He has been outstanding. McGregor taps it down. Laddams, boundary throwing.
Well, plenty of sides have tried to hold on for a couple of minutes at Football Park before, and somehow it just, history tells you that the Crows will conspire to get a goal on the death knot.
You can't hold on. You just have to go and win it. You have to be prepared to kick the next goal.
Schwartz and McGregor. Phoebe will be pleased to run it out. I think he does.
But it doesn't stop the clock. That's the... Sorry, it doesn't. Well, it doesn't stop the clock because the clock stops.
So 2 kicks away from the Crows' goal.
I think that's what was called a special comment.
Does that make sense?
So the Crows a couple of kicks away from goal, and the Demons at half-back. Ward, they'll be happy to run it over. They don't know how long to go, the players. Neil Danaher does.
Somebody has to lift it back over the top. Benny Hardy did well to get in and take the mark, but instead of turning inside to bring it back down the centre, he's tried to track it down the wing. It's gone out of bounds on the foot.
One of the most unbelievable victories I've ever seen last year, I think it was, Port Adelaide versus Carlton.
Yep, the second last match of the year.
But this is, I think, topped it. This was just an incredible victory in the finish because they were gone for all intents and purposes. Nobody beats the Crows in the final minute on this ground when they come from behind like they did tonight. And, well, Schwartz and Leoncelli, they knew what they were doing, and that's what makes it such an impressive act, because it was a set play. With the intention was there. You called it, Cornsey, and it was home.
I think Curls might have David Neitz with him. You there, Neil?
What a good game.
He's trying to get his...
That was one of the tough ones.
Yeah, it was. It was a real hard-fought game. We probably, half-time, probably thought we pretty much had the game won, but Adelaide came out firing, and gee, it was just a bloody sensational goal at the end there by Chell. It was really sensational.
What did you think when the Crows got the goal that put them in front? What did you really think?
Oh, look, they had all the momentum, really, didn't they? They were on a bit of a roll, but just great character from our boys to really stand up. And I suppose when they kicked that goal with not long to go, we probably thought it was a bit longer to go, actually. But yeah, we didn't realise how close it was. But just fantastic fighting character by our boys.
It could really be the season, this one, couldn't it, tonight?
Oh, look, I don't know if it was definitely the season, but going 2-love doesn't help matters, and being able to pick it back now at 1-1 is a good start for our season now.
You're going to enjoy the night. Well done.
Will do. Thanks,
back to you, Bruce.
Thanks, Neil, with David Neitz. Well, they won 6 of their first 13 only last year, Melbourne, and then had their big run into the grand final. But who knows at the end of the year just how important that last desperate play, brilliantly thought out and executed by Schwartz and Leoncelli will be for this club. Ingerson's 150th, a winning match for him.
Well, he spent a lot of time on the bench, but I just want to go back to that set play when everything is crashing down around you. If you've got the confidence and the composure to stick to your guns and come up with a simple, disciplined set play. Schwartz knew what he was doing. The Crows players didn't pick it up. They just didn't get back into that space and left Leon Chelle by himself. He had a magnificent game, and if anyone was going to win the game, I suppose it was Goodwin for the Crows. It nearly happened for him, but then it was going to be Leon Chelle for Melbourne. So I think probably the best team on the night won.
Oh, no doubt. But Adelaide showed such spirit to get back, didn't they?
What a heartbreak for Adelaide.
It is. Melbourne made all the running. In fact, at half-time, they looked in an impossible position to lose, to be truthful. In fact, it looked as if it might be a pretty boring second half. It didn't turn out that way. Adelaide pegged away. Woden with just 15 possessions, but boy, they had some good players, didn't they? What a finish, a real grandstand finish here. Leon Chelle and McDonald outstanding, and young Brown with 17 kicks in 11. It was 83-80 in the end.
It's a tough job, and this is the man who has to do it. Joe. Delivering bad news every working day for 18 years.
We're not ogres.
And he does it so well, he's up for an award. A day in the life of Adelaide's most hated man. Monday on 7 News.
At Mitre 10, our Easter prices have come crashing down. With a halogen light with motion sensor only $35, or a Bosch line trimmer just $59.95.
Okay, thanks. Anything else, sir?
Just the coffee.
Come on, Dad. Let's go.
There you go. See you again soon.
At Caltex, our staff will do whatever they can
Hold on a minute, sir. I think you might be needing one of these.
to help make your life a little easier. Caltex. Nice and easy.
Snowballs are back at Cunningham's. Pack of 7, only 99 cents. 50-gram Cheetos, 3, yes, 3 for $2. Need a chocky fix? 100-gram Nestle chocolate, 99 cents. Or 3 30-gram honeycomb, $2. 4 50-gram licorice all sorts, a bargain at $1.59. 200-gram pink salmon, 3 for $5. 3 50-gram oriental noodles, $1.49. Canned tong sizzling stir-fry sauce, $1.89. Cunningham's Warehouse.
All businesses are made up of people. When one of them is injured, productivity suffers and costs blow out. Workplace injury affects the health of your entire company.
Have you ever got your car back from a repairer only to find it wasn't? Look for the RAA approved repairer sign.
The shopping of Adelaide. Just 8 kilometres away from the beautiful environment of Northgate. Northgate. The dream just got closer.
We're all a bit stunned here just with what a finish it was, Jared. 11-14 to 12-11. The match needed a good finish to be memorable, but it was that in the end, with Goodwin's late goal seemingly bringing the Crows home from the death and then right on the line. A brilliant bit of play by Schwartz and Leon Chelle getting Melbourne home.
and winning by just 3 points. Let's go back and have a look at that last...
Superb conversion to finish off a best-on-ground performance.
It sure was. What about the match stats? What are they going to tell us?
Well, all night, the Adelaide Crows dominated the centre breaks, the takeaways, and they continued that right throughout the evening. But, look, I think the figures aside, it was a great fight back from the Crows. They showed some character, and I think Gary Ayres will take that away from it. Neil Danaher, he would have been impressed with the form in the first half. They obviously were disappointing last week. But then just to allow it to slip away was almost, I think, going to turn it into a real tragedy in sporting terms for the Demons, but for that final second.
The votes will be tough because you probably changed your mind in the last minute a couple of times.
About 5 times, in fact. In fact, Russell Robertson was the man that missed out. But I thought Tyson Edwards, somebody from the Crows had to get a mention because of their magnificent fight back. And I thought Edwards, along with 2 or 3 others, were the standouts. He also played well in the first half. Walsh, I think, was a great 4-quarter performer, and the Melbourne defence, I thought, was sensational tonight, particularly in that first half. And particularly, I guess, in the last quarter where they weren't given much help because the ball was in there the whole time. And Andrew Leoncelli was the standout for the 4 quarters.
And appropriately kicked the goal at the end. It made it even a bit easier, but no one would argue with that. The other game of Colonial tonight, we've been showing you the highlights and the scores to date. Let's go back and have a look at the second half highlights now. It's Collingwood and Fremantle.
High to half, 40 wanted. Pavlich isn't going to find him initially. Socket off the ground by Hazelby. Down towards full forward. Is this the start they dream of? Yes, it is.
Ruck work. Josh Fraser, Longmuir, gets a boot to it. Kick forward by Holland, it's a goal.
Loney towards Lockyer. At the back is Cook. Didn't get the opportunity. Lockyer will go again, however, and he steams away. Through the centre goes Tarkin Lockyer. Has a couple of ounces. Looks towards the half-forward line. Inside 50, and it is a beauty. Here's the kick from Malloy. Nothing red about that kick.
Little left foot kick is to the advantage of Bandy. Nick Davis at ground level. Rintoul kicks to the square. It's going all the way. It's a mark. Well, close. Check side. He's put it through.
Spiralling a high ball in towards full forward. A brave attempt to mark. Here's an opportunity now. The hand pass shot out by Bell to Pavlich. Pavlich onto the left foot, snaps and kicks the goal. Well, it just takes a couple of steps. Buckley was his target. Can his 40th possession be a goal?
Beautiful kick.
What a night for Nathan Buckley. 40 possessions. And he does it with a goal.
So once again, if you don't want to know the final scores, look away now because some stations are taking a replay. I think Neil Curley was on his way to the Crows room, don't you, in the last minute? He's had to backtrack. He's now in the Melbourne room right now. We're going down to join him.
Yeah, thanks, Bruce. Well, Jeff, that was a tough one. Conditions out there, particularly in the last quarter, a bit difficult?
Yeah, they were very difficult. The rain started to come down there. The ball got a bit greasy, but in the end, it was great to come away with a win.
I asked David this. What did you think when the Goodwin ball went through for the goal that put them? What did you honestly think?
Yeah, I just lifted the head and just tried to get out of the centre the next 2 taps, or the next tap. And, yeah, I just thought, oh, here we go. You know, it's a close one, but we just wanted to get it forward.
Leon Shelley was given a bit of space there on that last boundary throw in. He should have been picked up.
Yeah, I didn't actually see what happened. I just saw that he got free, but it was great for him to kick. He was just about to get tackled, so I was yelling out to him, kick the ball, and thankfully it went through.
Half-time, you were well in control of the game, and then it gradually was taken away from you. What could you put that down to?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we might have got a little bit too complacent, but, you know, we worked so hard the first half, and we knew that, you know, the Crows were going to come out in the third quarter, and we just couldn't, you know, sustain it. And, you know, to the boys' credit, we stuck there. We had our heads high, and we come away with the win. 4
valuable away points. Well done. Yeah. Back to you, Bruce.
Yes, it's a case of 3 points turning into 4 for the Demons tonight. We'll take a break, Jared, and we'll be back with more right after this from Footy Park.
Channel 7 now brings you the results of tonight.
I guess over the years we've seen a lot of businesses come and go, but Repco's been there for, I guess it'd be getting on 80 years now. It's been around for a long time, but, you know, generation after generation of you know, kids' parents and parents' parents have probably bought stuff from Repco, and it sticks in people's minds. I think confidence that we're still going to be here tomorrow. At Repco, we know what it is, we know where it goes.
Got a lot of jobs to do this Easter? Then get into Mitre 10 and save with 6-litre accent acrylic low sheen or satin $47.95 or a 1.8 metre galvanised steel stepladder $45.
The smash hit musical Shout is coming to Adelaide.
Okay, you're going to lead a revolution. You know you make me want to shout.
Based on the life of Australian rock legend Johnny O'Keefe. This new multi-million-dollar show lets you relive the man and the music that rocked a generation.
You gotta sing, 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 sing.
Shout opens June 21, Festival Theatre. Tickets on sale this Monday. Book at Bass.
While the guys are entertained here, I'd like to remind you that Cotton's tampons contain no synthetic fibres or dyes, just natural cotton. Thank you, gentlemen.
Cotton's tampons, 100% cotton.
I'm in the under-9s. And I'm a
I hate this.
What's up?
It's that ad for drugs. It's horrible.
Well, drugs are a big problem. Worries the hell out of your father and I.
How come?
Do any kids at your school do drugs?
Yeah, I suppose.
Well, that's why. What would you say if someone offered you some?
That's a good point. What would you say if someone offered you some?
I'd tell them no. Never know what it could do to you.
No one at school takes it.
Mum, did they used to have drugs around when you were young?
They did, but it's a lot worse now.
Why?
Well,
we should probably talk about drugs with the kids.
You don't know anything about drugs.
We should find out.
One of the best ways of preventing drug use is by talking to your children. This booklet tells you things you need to know about drugs and ways you may find it helpful to talk about them with your family. Please look out for the copy being delivered to your home.
We should read that.
Yeah.
Authorised by the Commonwealth Government, Canberra.
There's much more to the mole than meets the eye.
Want the inside story, exclusive interviews, go behind the scenes? You get all this and more when you get this week's Who Weekly, plus the password to access the Secret Mole website. And you'll have the chance to win one of 6 incredible widescreen digital TV packages from Rentlo. So grab Who Weekly and head to themole.i7.com.au and keep your eye on the Mole, Wednesday 7:30 on 7.
Played in 2 halves, 9 goals to 3 in the first half for Melbourne, 8 goals to 3 in the second half for the Crows. In the end, Liam Chelly's goal, the difference 12-11 to 11-14. Now, we're going to show you the ladder here without the result from Collingwood and Fremantle because of those replay situations. To see the Bombers on top. They've been on top for 30 weeks going into this weekend. The trick will be, if Geelong did beat the Saints by plenty, they may take that position.
Yes, but if they don't, you'd suggest that Essendon will be a bit tough to move between now and September.
Oh, they sure will. I'm not saying they'll win 20 straight, but I reckon they might be on top of that ladder for a fair while. What about tomorrow? Who are you tipping?
Well, it depends on Wayne Carey whether you go for the Kangaroos or Brisbane, but you'd reckon Brisbane at home would pick that one up. Colonial at St Kilda and Geelong at Colonial. Toss the coin there. Both sides had great victories last week. And the West Coast and Sydney. Well, I saw Sydney last week, and I think West Coast will struggle to beat them.
Fair enough, Gerard. That's it from Footy Park. I hope you enjoyed it. Good calling tonight. A match made memorable by the most exciting minute and a half at the end you could imagine.
Seven's football telecast is proudly brought to you by RAA Insurance, Mitre 10, Repco, Sip and Save, Ultratune, and Quet.
Yeah.